I am sure sports. You know me there, I'm coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get your sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know the game play, that me not say it. If me never seen a game, me not know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you are gonna love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crap of players. We are good enough. Remember to like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Pragmatic Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices. Add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Pragmatic Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
Good morning, all my people, my friends. How you all doing? Hope you're having a wonderful start to the morning. You understand me? Bless up one and all. Those who are near and those who are far. You know, people spread out across the world. All my people, my subscribers across the Caribbean, across North and Central America, in Europe, all the way into Africa and Asia. That's how far we spread and we go. From the east coast of Jamaica to the west coast. From north to south. Moran Point to Negril Point. Every county, every parish, every district. Bless up and welcome to the show today. It's a joy being here with you. You understand me? Big up some of the people that in the chat already, you know. You understand me? Let me heal up some of them that I am seeing. People like God Bless Youth, Duckland, one Stenet, you know. You understand me? Duckland is a Stenet. So bless up Duckland. Shane, aka that look like a man Carty, big baller from off of the farm. Bless up yourself. KW Media up and running. Bravo. Rage, Squadron, bless up yourself. Moderator Fresh God, yeah man, up and running, you know, bro. You know how it is. You know what time of day it is. Up and running. Listen, people, stay positive, live good, and treat others how you want to be treated. You understand me? Yeah, Champs is up and running. Things are looking good. Look, it looks like it is shaping up so far based on the early goings on the male side that it will be a battle between Calabar. No. Between JC and KC. Don't look like Calabar is going to be in the running, but you never know. But so far it look like KC and JC are neck and neck based on how things are shaping up. You understand me? Heidel and Edwin Allen on the female side. We have a few things to do today. You understand me? I have one of the generals of Jamaica football that I'm going to be talking to about an event coming up. We should have done it yesterday, but you don't know how it is. We weren't able to do it. But today, definitely, we are going to do that. We're going to have, in a short while, we should have had one of the artists who are going to be performing at this event on the show, but we're probably going to try and do it on Friday instead. You understand me? But we have a former national player, played for the Jamaica Defense Force when they were in the leagues here in Jamaica. He does a lot of work to help former players, and so we're going to call him, and he's going to tell us about a program that they're having. Today, for the first time, you'll have the Hour of Power that is with Mr. Rudolph Speed, where basically he will be the man, talking to you. M10, yo, M10, bro, me have to call M10 a long time. You have to come on the show and break down one of them video in there, I don't understand what going on in M10. M10 look like, hey, M10, hey, M10, big up yourself in a M10. Big up yourself in a M10. Big up yourself, M10 football. Real person to break down the game and all of that. Them man only need the equipment, But M10, we under the radar, We have put some pieces together, bro. Look out, before the year end. Ring-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a. Man said that, you understand me? Demo! Yeah. Here, Demo Dre, aka Demo Dre, one of the better commentators around here, one of the best. You understand me? No mainstream media commentator can't deal with the football, especially the international game. I talk about commentary like Demo. You understand me? You might go say no, said go. Demo, you're not even sure with the local puppy where you win. Because you say that go receive an award. If you must say you're 3 for 15 and you get a local puppy, a local red puppy. Show it, no man. Yeah, Musa. A grand hero. Fervet can be in the mix for top 3. Up and running, bro. Bless up yourself. Alright? So we'll make our first link with this general. Because this general. Big up all the former national players, them, Yeah, man. We big up all the former national players. We make the call straight, because we don't want no interference when we make them call, because them call a big, All the former national players, because so many of them tune in, and every now and then they call management and give him some advice as to how to make things work more efficiently and effectively. Big up. We have a lot of plans, We have one named Gregory Simmons. Big up yourself, Sir Simmons. But we could take this call. Sir Tolo.
Well done.
Yeah, man. You're live on here. This is Management from I Am Sure Sports. Yeah,
Yes,
man.
sir.
All right. So you're here live with the people, and you have a big event that is coming up. You understand me? On the 8th of April, right? I
Yeah.
want to tell the people all about it, what
Yeah.
it is about, who is going to be there, why it is important, and how they can support and contribute to it. Even people in the diaspora can buy a 1,000 tickets for them friends and family in Jamaica. Go ahead and tell them how they can be a part of this major effort and work that you are doing here in Jamaica to help footballers, of
Yeah, man.
ancient
Right.
generations.
Well, it's been a while, and always down in the center here doing work with the Steertown community. So, and that's a part of my heritage, because my father is from Steertown. So, eventually we come together and put it together. So we're going to keep an event in terms of football, and then we have a party in the night, a real party where we can enjoy. People can really come out and enjoy themselves with the atmosphere and love and tranquil and peace round, in terms of the quality of music we are going to provide. And I display some past national players, who will be on show to that day, like Lenny Hyde, Teagat Davis, Howard Cephas, you have Kenan Clark, myself, and might be we have a couple who drop in otherwise, so maybe Bingy Blair, but I'm sure those who I named earlier on.
So you will have, let me go over the names again for the people. Teacher I
Yeah,
going to be
so
playing.
far I spoke to the teacher, yeah, Lenny, I tell him that part,
Paul Teagat Davis will be playing.
yeah, Howard Cephas,
Howard Cephas will be playing.
Kenan Clark,
Glenn Clark will be playing.
yeah,
Michael
myself,
Tullow will be playing.
yes, yes.
So those
So,
five you're confirming,
right.
but
And Tapper Whitmore will be there, so I don't, most likely he'll be in the IFM team, but I think he'll be there also.
so Tapa will be playing for the IRFM invitational
Yeah,
team.
I gather that. And we just want the people them come out and come share some love because it's all about love too, It's not really
So
about no
tell them I
hype.
understand what I'm going on. You know call Mannings, man.
Mannings, man. Yes,
Yeah,
Mannings,
me that's
man.
what
Clark,
me that's what me I go play for you different.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah, man. But as I say, Mannings, right now, we just want to embody the power of love. Love, 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 love. So we don't have nothing like more than that in ourselves, and that is where we want to show the people. So we can't have fun amongst one another and still share that band of love there. No matter who win. It's not about winning or losing. It's about just the camaraderie and we coming together as people, Jamaicans, and just enjoy life. And in the night now, we have a nice quality music with Supertone. And you have DJ Jacob from IFM. I come play some music. So we have some quality original entertainers like Philip Fraser. You have Hugh Brown, Terry Ganzi. You have Cockback. You have Luton Fire. You have Do Right and Ratwani and a birthday named Drummer says a younger artist. But it's just a powerful show in terms of love and the quality of the music what we really want to bring, the people them right in the holiday weekend there where we know so nobody now go to work so you can spend as much time out there and just enjoy the whole vibe.
Yeah,
And we will be playing right away so we are going to honor Frank Brown by playing to the Frank Brown Trophy.
right, because Frank Brown, the legend, Frank Brown, legendary coach,
Yes,
former
yes.
national player, passed away
Yes,
recently. His
passed
funeral
away
is actually his funeral service is actually this
this Friday.
Friday at Excelsior High School.
Yes. And we just want to honor him right away because it's a sad state to see how really the great icons of our sports in Jamaica don't get treated in terms of, when we get on the age, them get neglected and, them die, just like that. It's really a sad day. But, something have to change about it. And we, the past players, have to galvanize ourselves together and look about one another. Because nobody not out there for we. It's like our era never exists. Our era of football no count to them in terms of being important and what we contributed to the whole football fraternity in general. But, God still know where we did and how we suffered most because we were playing for nothing. We were playing to pride our country and love our country and love of the sport. But, it's like you don't get any appreciation to all of those. And, we were battered on the field to the country. Enough things we go through in terms of on-field things to the country. And at the end of the year, when you stop there, it's like nobody remember you. Nobody. I just the common man. Because right now, we are the people champion in terms of the common Jamaican. They get to you, them see you every day and give you the honor and the glory and say, boy, great man and thing and respect you. But you see, the people, them up there in terms of the authorities of the football don't really see the past players as any importance. And, that is
Yeah,
a
you're
sad.
talking about the players from in the 70s and in the 80s.
Yes, the 60s, 70s, 80s, come
Yeah.
on. It's like football starting at the 90s to them. No disrespect to the man them from the 90s, because them not have nothing to do with what go on. I really, the administrative part we are talking about, because them just come as players too, and them come in an era where things like that, and them enjoy what them bring to them. You understand? But we are neglected and, continue to be neglected, and that needs to change. Because all of the man them are dead out and don't get no honor or no glory for the work that they put in.
Yeah, because you lost Oscar Black.
Oscar that just the other day to a very iconic figure that's in a Jamaica football. Nobody no know, no people no know Oscar. You have all of the big coaches, them are dead out, Tongue Fog, and the amount of money where them man they spend out of them pocket to groom youth and grow youth in the sport. And them no get no honor. Nobody no remember them. Nobody no remember them, you know, some boy up there we never put on a shot get or them thing, you know, them a get all the glory, you know, and the benefit out of the sport, you know, brother. That means you go on some bookworm, you know. Some boy will never go on a field yet, but just do the bookwork and can pass a test. And them I get the benefit out of football and we and the road we around play man, them go on the field go play. Them not get nothing, brother. And that is a sad state where people have it have a change. And the man them will go out there to benefit outside. They go out, they go take a box and a man sit all in your face you out there play for your country. You know how much of that we go to?
Yeah.
Eh? How much brutal things we go through for our one. And no respect. Already, your brother. Have a change.
Yeah.
Change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's big talk that, you know, because the truth is, if you don't remember where you're coming from, you know, it's gonna be hard for you to really, you know,
Yeah,
enjoy
man.
the present and even walk.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
You know,
the
foundation is critical. The foundation is
Yes,
critical.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir. Because can't build without foundation.
yeah, definitely. But let me say the event will be at
Jackson's Sport Complex.
Draxal on
Yeah, man.
Saturday the 8th of April.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. And we are going there early, you know, so we want to from early. We have some food and sale and things for the people and some nice quality food, you know. To the people them come and enjoy and you know some nice soup and thing and you know just come out man, come have some fun with your family. You can come with your family man, a young because youth can come because the atmosphere
What about the people them say, boy, I'd love to bring my little kid out there early, but you know it's a lot of Rastafarian and you know how it going, you know, when the Rastafarian gather, you know, it's a celebration of the great chalice, you know.
It's love, it's more love when Rasta gather, more love.
Yeah, but
more
I'm
love.
wondering about the kids being exposed to the chalice.
No. It's not an event like that, yeah, man. You know, might be the average man, but not. It's not gonna be it's not a bingy, you know. It's not an aya bingy when man come out to them chalice and like that. You know, it won't be that, man. It will be something that
Family.
Good
Family
man,
event.
family can come out, man. Yeah, man. It will be something with respect and things. It's nothing like that.
All right.
Like an open thing like that.
All right. So let me know. What is the cost for the persons who want to come and watch the game?
All right. The cost for the football pass, you know, we carry it very, very low. 300 to come in to elders and 100 to like children under 12. And then
$300 free for so it's free for children under 12?
No, 200 for children under 12.
100 for children under 12 and 300 for adults for the football game, which is the IRFM Invitational.
Against our All-Stars.
Against the Michael Tolo All-Stars.
And we will be playing for the Sir Frank Brown.
Playing for the Sir Frank Brown Trophy.
Yeah.
What time that game starts?
The game starts at 3:30. So. And then after that, now we prepare for the session in the night. It will be 1,000 for the session in the night.
Okay. So 1,000 for the session in the night.
Yes.
Okay, and you say you have again. You have Luton Fire.
Luton Fire. We have Philip Fraser.
Hugh Brown. Brockback.
Terry Ganzi.
No,
the real stalwart at the thing from the
You said DJ.
Yeah, DJ Jacko from Best.
And which sound system is playing? Silvertone?
Supertone. With Tickladine and the crew. You know, Tickladine are the man who used to play Sir Gab. So, you know, say quality to the max. You understand? Teammate from JDF, Farmer Baller, you understand?
Okay. So
It's just a family. You know, Luton Fire is a man who come play some ball because you know it's a baller too.
Oh, so Luton Fire going to be playing?
Yeah, man, Luton come run some ball with it too, man.
So Charlie Chaplin now come drop two leather, man? Dr. Charlie Chaplin?
I don't sure. Yeah, but I don't sure if he will participate yet. But he'll be there. He'll be alongside us, right along.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Because not leave me still. So I'm out there still. You know, see it? We just want the day to be a day of just joy, love, fun, and, you know. So, you know, we want something to be remembered. You know, a day where we know that we come out and real quality time and, you know, you come share some history with some of the past players them and all them things, you know, and just enjoy the whole thing, man. Whosoever win, so be it. But we not come to say, boy, come kill you one day after you prove nothing. We just have come have some real fun. You understand? Yeah. And enjoy some nice quality food, some vegetable food and some fish and, you know, we eat them jerk chicken and them thing of them and them curry goat. You know, we are going to have that to them and we eat them vegetable and them fish. Yeah, we are going to have that to them. Quality food. We not deal with powder seasoning. We deal with natural seasoning. So it's all the quality.
Yes, sir.
Granny food, granny type of food. Mama them food we are cooking. No
Yes, sir.
powder, no.
Lot of ital stuff.
Yeah, man. Natural stuff. You know, man. Rasta man and all can come and try the cook man. And vegetables too. You
Hey, you
understand?
have to make sure you know so that you Blair is a juice man, you know. I'm dealing with this
No,
stuff
me
you
that
put.
me are the juice man.
Are you
When
the
you
juice
talk about
man?
juice, yeah, man. When you talk about juice, me I talk
What
about.
you talk about, man? Then I
How
being
we
you
are
Blair,
say,
I
man.
being you Blair make the
Yeah,
whole of the
him
bad
have
juice
him
and for the
brand, him have
bantan, you know.
him brand. Him have him brand too, man. But me, that man, me that he ever a juice man. Yes, enough man can't tell you about me and juice. Even him can't tell us. Even him can't tell us. And we are going to have some special roots and sale there, the royal roots, you know, some real quality fermented roots, you know, from the vault of the elders, you know. Yeah. We
Yeah.
have that and sale along with, you know, the regular liquor, but we are going to have some special roots wine that night there.
So what
Yeah.
are I want you to tell the people because this is not for Michael Tolo to buy a Benz, you know. Tell the people the proceeds of
Yeah,
this,
well,
what it go towards.
this are just in regard to we doing with charity work and thing and to assist with. And we have a big foundation now, we form name Give Foundation where we are give out to more people right now. It expand. So that is really where we are driving. Gathering some resources so we can really assist in terms of executing what we execute as we go along with it.
Okay, so right now, what about the people who live in overseas? They can't come to the event, but they love what Michael Tolo is doing because they
Well,
see you. Hold on, they see
yeah,
you
yeah.
going around helping some of the past players with groceries, with clothing, with fixing houses and all of those things. How them can go so bam and say, Mikey Tolo, we can't reach there, you know. But see $100 a year, see $50 a year.
All
You know,
right.
even if nobody can get no ticket, you donate this
All right.
towards the foundation. Talk to them.
The Give Foundation just get itself fully registered and account and everything out. So in short order, I can give out an account number that them can
All right.
contribute
Are you want
directly.
me? Because I cannot. So anybody want to talk to you as well about how they can contribute? I can give
Yeah,
them your number and them can link
yeah,
you up. Bam, and you give them the
yeah,
account number to the Give Foundation that they can
yeah,
donate specifically. And the Give Foundation is
yeah,
the same thing that starts with the Angsong ones, right?
yeah. It's just an extension of the
Uh,
Anton one, but with other
right. Where
both.
you guys give out packages
Yes.
to farmer players, farmer
Yeah,
footballers
yeah.
right across Jamaica.
And communities in general, because we went outside of just the footballers and did the communities of Marspen Road, Starlets Road, Duncan, and Tickleton, and over the place in general, because it's 90 odd packages we gave out for the December, you know.
Yeah, 90 odd packages. Yeah, and you're
Yeah,
looking to give out some pack. I understand that you want to give out some for Easter as well, some bun
yeah,
and cheese and all of
just
them
have
little
to,
thing there.
we like in the community where we're going to work, like in Speartown now, we're looking to give out maybe about 10 packages to some elders who, you know, we really see there who we have identified. So that's really it, you know, because we like to really contribute wherever we are, you know, to the whole thing, to know that we are all about giving.
Okay, and you are originally a Steertown man for the people who don't know because
From
then
me a baby, yeah, man, my father was born in Speartown, and the whole of my generation, Speartown is a Tullow parish. Solo district. So, you know, me have my route there. So me always down there anytime them keep anything, me always go down there as an international player to go support them and give them that chance to show say you have quality come from Cape Town too, you understand? And then, you
okay.
know, I'm always there. So, you know, me I look out for the support from the people them in that Cape Town community and things, you know, wholeheartedly.
Yeah, man. So tell them again where, time, and
Yeah.
cost. And
Yeah
some of the
man.
artists and ballers will be there. Go ahead and run that by them again, Tolo.
Yeah, man. Jackson Complex, Sports Complex, Saturday the 8th of April. You know, football start 3 o'clock. You know, you have players like Howard Cephas, Glennon Clark, Lenny Hyde, Teagat Davis, myself, Mike Solo. Artists and show will be Terry Gansey, Hugh Brown, Brockback, Luton Fire, the works, you know. And then, you know, we just have some fun and some love and some
DJ
fun.
Jacko and
The Jacko from Best FM and Tickla Dina juggle the music and thing and Danny Dread. You know, it's going to be, as they say, it's going to be vintage. It's going to be vintage, my brethren. Where, you know, you just have to feel the energy and know, say, well, a warm, you know, a warmness. You know, we don't want a negative in our space. We just want love. We just want everybody come out, come share that love, the Rasta. Come with your peaceful mind. No animosity, no ignorance or nothing. We're not supposed to act that day there. We just want love. Embodied by love, brother. Love. Make us show that love. They make we as people share that love there anytime we come in our space and show people say we can be loving to one another and enjoy and inspire one another. You know, see it and motivate one another with love, my brother.
yeah.
Love.
And then you see again, kids
Yeah.
for the football game, kids under 12,
Yeah,
$100, adults
one
300, and for the concert is just $1,000.
Yeah, man. We not kill nobody. You know, people say it could have been more, but yeah, we comfortable with that. A man can pay a cheap base and come watch some ball with some past players and not the night a session, yeah, a man, and I know say a man can in there. You understand? So I just love me. I look forward to see the people them out and we share some love with them.
Definitely.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. And then again, you said that Friday at Excelsior, 10 a.m. is a funeral service for the late Frank Brown.
No,
One of the
yeah.
few coaches that won Manning and the Costa Cup.
Yes, I think he might have been the first one to do it also.
Yeah.
And it's
Also,
a man coach more than one sport in Jamaica too. So you know he's really somebody should be revered more than how he was, you know? Yeah.
yeah, man.
Mhm.
All
You
right.
know, we
Yeah, man.
love him and
Go ahead.
no, I say we love Frank Brown and we are gonna show that love to him when we go out Friday to support him at the funeral.
Definitely. Yeah, man. Anything else you want to tell the people? I mean, share with the people. You understand me? Remember, people, if you're listening, this is Michael Tolo, Give Foundation or Unsung Ones, and they run. Go ahead.
Yeah, man, we just want to say, brethren, it's time now for people start understand say when people like we represent Jamaica in times gone by, it was just for the love and the dignity of playing for one's country. We weren't being given any compensation in terms of anything for those services. So at least now, especially, and I want you see whole part of past players out there, and I want to tell the man them say we need to galvanize ourselves together now as a proper unit to look out to one another because we see say nothing happen out there in terms of doing things for us. And we see one on one and go down like that. So make we galvanize ourselves and make we put them aside. We just complain about them and we not do not neither amongst ourselves. So make we do it. Make we start to something for ourselves and see where it take us.
Yeah, but what about the people who would say, well, some of the past players squandered what they got, and that is why they are in hard times right now.
But right now, brethren, who is perfect? No man not perfect. So
Yeah.
we no business a man doing at the past. If we face a way we can help them now, and that's important. We no business we're going in the past. Enough man do things in the past and them get redeemed. Same so make we put that aside and help in the way where we can now. To the situation where we see happen to them.
All right, definitely, most definitely. Well said, Sir Toleno. Good conversation. Always good hearing from you. Hopefully, we can talk again on Friday with a couple of the artists. Maybe a Terry Gansey can pass through and say, "Sha-la-la-la-la, here comes the old la."
Impossible, brother.
Or Luton Fire, I don't know. You understand? But maybe we can get one of those.
Look at our link here, but him say today, as me tell the situation, but him same can do it another day. So maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, man, and we can bring him on to come on, tell the people and that he's going to be there and he's going to drop some leather because Luton Fire,
Yeah, man, and we asked them, man, a bad baller, Luton, man, a tough midfielder, man.
Yeah,
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 man.
yeah. Hey, Luton Fire, just because I Tolo said that, if you play for Tolo side, you play for Area FM, because I mean, you go battle in the middle of the park, So watch out,
Yeah, man. Brother. Yeah, man, I just love ya, man. Love Rasta, love everlasting, brother.
Yeah, man. So
Yeah,
there you go. People, you need to share this video
yeah,
as well, Go ahead right now. Share the video with some people so they can hear what Michael Tolo and is doing and so they can be a part of this. And like I said, if you want to reach out to him and make a donation, a contribution, you can text the I Am Sure Sports number, and then what I'll do, I'll forward his contact to you so that you
yeah.
can speak directly to him. All right, want to say a big thank you now to Mr. Michael Tolo. Legend.
Yes, my
You
brother.
understand me? The man who them say when him head it looked like a shot off of the right foot. It hit the back of the net and reach all half line when it come off of him head, You understand me? Also, I had the privilege he did of captain in the Jamaica national team on one occasion, I believe, So big up,
Yeah,
big up, big up, and bless up and keep on doing the good work,
brother. Yes, my
Tolo.
brother.
Yeah, man. And we'll talk again either tomorrow or Friday more about the event.
Yes, my brother. Yes, my brother. Love.
Yeah, man. All right. Love, man.
One love.
All right. So there you go, people. That is Michael Tolo for you. Now this is the beginning of the hour. Yeah. We have a caller coming in, but we have a very special guest in the background. Let me take this call quickly. Caller, welcome to the show.
Blessing Dr. Mannings on the panel
Yeah, man.
and those in the comment section. You know that I just look at the heading you have display there is result more important
No,
than
man, we
style
don't
of play.
start no discussion. You just joined the show. We don't even discuss nothing
Yeah,
yet.
man.
No. So you have to listen now because we just have to start because what we did, we just had on Michael Tolo talking about an event. So we have no discussion yet. We haven't said anything. All that is up there is a thumbnail. So Mr. Rudolph Speed is here. You have to at least hear from him first before I think you share your thoughts.
Yeah, man, I'm blessed for Mr. Speed because I like the direction he might go, He might win me over.
All right, boss. Let's see if you're gonna lose you today when him don't talk about this topic. All right, yeah, man. Bless up, bless up. Hey, Jarvis. Listen, we need to link up, because I tell you already, I'm gonna have to make a move, and I thought it would have been after Easter, but it looked like it could be very soon. Yeah, well, yeah, probably the 9th, so we need to talk, all right? But we have Mr. Rudolph Speed. Mr. Rudolph Speed is going to take this hour, and then he's going to go, and then we'll take the comments and the call when he begins to share. So the topic, Mr. Speed, is result more important? Why is result more important than style of play? Can all teams play beautiful football? You think you can manage that?
Yeah. But you don't have to go anywhere now, but you can just make me lead still. But you don't have
All
to
right.
go
So
anywhere. I don't mind
I'm going to be here to put up the
Listen.
comments, man. So
All right. Okay. All right. So I just wanted to read some things first before we go into that conversation. So the trends that we observe in the World Cup 2022, which is really the showpiece football event. Listen, don't matter what anybody tell you. You could have win Champions League and World Cup and Nation Cup and all those things. From 1930, it was still the World Cup everybody wanted to win. It's still the thing that you have to look at the performance there to decide where the trends of the world going. If you're wrong, you're usually on the wrong side of what is required to win the World Cup. So what we see in the World Cup, and I'm getting very scientific as much as I can, is that there's a willingness to defend as a team in the medium and the low block. So a lot of people came on and talk about the high press and everybody must be pressing all over the place. In this last World Cup, that wasn't the case. A lot of teams was willing to defend in the mid block or low block. Willingness to play without the ball. And let me go through some stats. Possession obsession continues, but is bearing less fruits. This is reality. Teams are willing to play without the ball. Up to 1970, no team had possession over 56%. No World Cup team topped 60% until Colombia did it in 1994. In 2018, both Spain and Germany topped 70%. In 2022, only Spain topped 70%. But the overall trend is down. The correlation between possession and points per game dropped from 0.706 points per game in 2006 to less than 0.2 in 2022. So because you have greater possession don't mean you're going to win any game. Teams show an increasing willingness, comfortableness to play without the ball. In 2015, 13 teams had a 2005, 13 teams had a possession rate higher than 51%. 11 made the knockout round. In 2022, 15 teams had a possession rate of 51 or higher. Only 9 made the knockout round. In 2022, teams with a higher than 50% possession rate scored points at 1.4 points per game. Those below were 1.2 points per game. Possession still pay dividends, but it's a declining factor when winning games, as you can see. And then I will go through the rest, but I just wanted to say those first. So back to answer your question.
Let me just support before you go to that. I read where Rodri, because Spain lost to Scotland 2-0, right? In the qualifiers, Spain versus Scotland. The Manchester United player Scott McTominay scored 2, and Rodri, the city CDM said that Scotland is rubbish after the game. He was livid at what they did, right, and how they played. He said all they were doing, they were just defending. They were not trying to keep the ball and pass the ball around, blah blah blah, and it is rubbish football. Spain had 75%. Scotland had 2. But at the end of the day, listen to this. Scotland had 9 shots. Spain had 8 shots. Scotland had 3 on target. Spain had 3 on target. Spain passing accuracy was 86%. Scotland was 63. Spain completed 661 passes. Scotland only did 219. And yet Scotland won the game. Just to add to what you were saying. So continue, Mr. Sweet. Yeah.
Right. So coaches, so what the problem that we're having is that we're looking at club football and mixing up club football with national football. Club football, you can develop a philosophy or a game model, and you buy the player to fit in. With country football, you have what you have. You can't buy any. Of course, there's some you can transfer some players in, but it is restricted. The majority of your game, majority of your players is usually, the persons who are born in your country or eventually get citizenship, etc. Now, the most important statistics is goal. And coaches are coaching to score a goal or 2 and try not to concede. And yes, results is more important than the style of whatever you want to play the beautiful football, right? So let me get that out of the way. Now, philosophy, based on what is happening, is getting outdated. And I'm going to explain to you why. The big countries with lots of players, they tend to develop a philosophy early. So you could say the German philosophy, but it was from 2014, they're still using it. You could say the Spain philosophy that were successful in 2010, right? But come up now in 2022, when people are more relying on game models, not necessarily philosophy, with tactical adjustments to take care of the people who are better. Like if you're playing certain players and you know their tendencies are, you tweak your game model for counter those tendencies. Those are the teams that are becoming successful. Let me tell you, there are 4 basic game models. basic. One, possession base, which comes with a high press. So if you're a possession based team and you lose the ball, you press back the ball high. That's one. Second one is you're defending at your own half, and you're playing a transition and you're playing a counter attack mode. That's another game model, which basically, so you give up territorial, you don't press the ball in certain areas, right? You allow the team to come to you. There's what you call total football, which everybody wants to play. I would like to play.
Would like to
It's
play.
not so successful. The Netherlands came with it. Yeah, the Netherlands came with it. They never won a World Cup with it. It was beautiful to watch, though. And a lot of people try to play it afterwards. They never ever win any titles with it. And then there's the fourth one where all of us play. You know that one, which one that is? You just play the next.
We didn't hear that. You're frozen. Oh.
The fourth one is where most of us. You hearing me now?
Yeah, we're hearing you now, yes. The fourth one.
The fourth one is where everybody play. You just play the next ball. Forwards, whatever they want, the defenders kick with the ball. There's no synchronization. You just play. So that's a game model too. So those are the four basic. Every other game model is some tweak of those four. Is a tweak of those four. But in all four game models, you could have the same philosophy. You see the difference between the game models and philosophy? You could really have the same philosophy in all four game models, right? So those are the ones that we have to talk about whenever we start to talk about the individual games. Those are just the starting salvo that I wanted to bring out there.
Yeah.
So it is more important to win than to play.
Total football. There is defending in your own half. Right? There is high press.
No. Total football was the one that what name come with the Netherlands, where different people. If you was a defender, that don't mean eventually you'll be the one getting the pass to score. They rotate the positions. That's the total football I'm talking about.
So the 4-game model is one, defending in your own half. You give up. You concede.
Four-game model. No, one is possession. It's a possession-based team. Your possession is your strength. That's what, like City, possession-based. So the high press. You got it? I'm not hearing your monies, man. Monies, man, I'm not hearing you. So let me just go back to if you're hearing me. One is a possession-based football, which means possession is the strength of your team. You try to keep possession, play indirect, move the opponents out of the spaces that you want to exploit and exploit the space. That's possession based. But in defense, they tend to high press the ball, right? Then you have the other game model where people don't high press the ball. They retreat in their own half and play in transition or in counter attacking mode. So that is the second one. So that was Moreno. Yes, he's sports now. Yes. So that was Moreno. Then you have total football, which they try to, where people just rotate position and end up in some unusual places, and it has been tried before, even at the World Cup. It never actually win the World Cup, but they came second twice, I think. Then you have where most of us play, no plan. We just play the next ball. So everybody makes a decision on what is the next best thing for the team, which is what most of us play. Most teams, especially amateur teams, play. In all those four basic models, you could actually have tweaks because you have to take in consideration what the opposition is doing, and also in consideration what, the quality of your players is always be a problem in whatever game model you choose. So the modern game is more dependent on the game model and not necessarily a philosophy. And I'm going to explain why. one. Right. So SCSL South Cry, what I was trying to explain before was that yes, those teams are possession-based teams. That's a game model, and they are some of the best teams. They are some of the best teams in the world. But you have to understand that those teams can buy quality player. They are not like a country was to use a fixed set of people. So Man City can go out and buy a left back for $90 million, buy the best one the world has to offer. In Jamaica, we can go and buy a left back. Buy a left back that is the best in the world. We have to take one that born in Jamaica, or the player would have naturalized being a Jamaican, right? And those players have options to play for other countries like England. So if English was asking for them, we probably wouldn't be getting those players. So you have to really distinguish between club teams who can buy what they want and national teams. This program is geared more for national teams, and that is why we're discussing these things as to what is pragmatic. So for national teams, you tend to be much more pragmatic than club teams, because club teams, you get a budget and you go and buy what you want. For national teams, you have to wait till the next youth born and grow, or you have to wait till a youth develop to become what you want him to be. So you see the difference. That is the difference. So when you use example like Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City, Man United, Spurs, I prefer you use countries. So the countries will be more akin to what we're discussing, because let us not run about. We are going to come back to the style of play or the game model that Jamaica employed playing against Trinidad and Tobago and playing against Mexico. So I know that is what we're coming back to. So I'm not going to be discussing clubs, as I said before. It's a whole different proposition. In club football, is the richest club usually wins. Everybody agree with that? In club football, it is the club that have the most money and willing to spend it usually win. Because if it was true that money has no bearing on football, then the World Cup winner would be USA. And who would come second? China. And who would come third? Probably Japan. I mean, so teams like Croatia, they wouldn't have a chance. Teams like France wouldn't have a chance. A lot of countries have more money than France. A lot of countries have more money than Brazil. A lot of countries have more money than Argentina. So to use clubs in this conversation is not fair, because there's the economics which now has nothing to do with coaching. The economics is just money that you have. So the USA would be winning every World Cup if we're thinking about money. And if clubs enter the World Cup, they probably would be winning World Cups too, if they were able to enter.
Mr. Speed.
Yes.
Yo, aliens invaded my home and disconnected my power and my internet. Oh my Lord, I don't even know where you are. But sorry about that, people.
So I was just explaining. Somebody tried to use a club scenarios, and I was explaining the point that don't bother with the club scenario. Clubs are able to buy the best players in the world. They buy a wing back for 90 million, any amount of money, if they think that is a piece that they need. If what I'm saying is not true, is the money is the factor why they are the best clubs in the world and they are possession based, is in World Cup, then the country that would win the World Cup every World Cup would be USA. If clubs was like country, they are so different. Clubs are not like country because of geographics, the person who qualified to play for the country. So you find that coaches that coach the countries teams are pragmatic, and that is what is bearing out in the World Cup nowadays, the pragmaticness of the coaches to beat the established team who are fixed with their philosophy and fixing their game model. Because every single game model has a weakness. It's for you to find it. So if you can counter those weaknesses, then you're good. The person who invented football is a genius. They invented a pitch so big and not too small. You can't guard everywhere, right? They make sure that there's different segments of it. You have to play different in different segments. And based on that, that is why different tactics and game model can work. Of course, you have to look at the quality of the players that you have when you're coining those tactics.
Yeah. So let me say this now. So what you're saying is that the result is more important, right? And there that doesn't mean let me ask this question. Is there anything called ugly football when you get the right results? That's one. And the second question is, does playing what people call beautiful football, I think you answered that earlier, guarantee result? Could you say that the person who plays the better brand of football will get the result? Or if you play ugly football, you cannot be successful?
Well, somebody could tell me what Morocco played in the last World Cup. I mean, they really didn't play that pretty, but they were very effective and pragmatic. What it does is a coach who decides that this is what I have and this is what I'm going to use and to get the best possible results that I can get. So they didn't come and give it away, like trying to play what they can't play and conceded goals. They say, okay, well, it is easier for coaches to coach teams to defend. So they made it a hallmark of their team. They defended and look for opportunities. Pragmatic. That's how people, I mean, that's how things should be, even in your own personal life. Pragmatic. Don't be flashy and then lose. So to me, a national team coach thinks a lot different from a club coach. A lot different. And the people who have the big budgets, they can be expansive and do whatever they want to do. They can buy players. If you don't have a big budget, you have to be very pragmatic with what you have.
Yeah, I like this point that CC is making. He says the team with the best conversion rate and defensive fortitude wins the game, not the team who is the most prolific.
Well, him kind of contradict himself.
Yeah, but if you're prolific, CC, you're talking about scoring
Yeah,
regularly.
right. But
So
him probably saying that, yeah, but him probably saying you still have to have a good defense. Even if you score regularly, it's suited because what he's saying, no, he's correct. He's not contradicting himself. He's actually correct. Let me tell you why he's correct. If you ever see a team high flying scoring a lot of goals, when they come to the playoff games and you have a team with a good defensive structure, usually the team with a good defensive structure probably prevail because they will find a game model to block the team from scoring after studying them. And once they score, and usually those prolific teams not don't pay as much attention at defensive, so they're probably so I think that's what he's saying. So he's correct. He's correct.
all right. So what about at the national level, right? People will say that they don't want to watch boring football. Is boring football, the idea of boring football, like dismiss if the team is getting the result? In other words, if Jamaica won the Gold Cup, could we safely say that people would not pay as much attention to the style of football? But when the team is not performing well, then the style of football comes under greater scrutiny. In other words, if Jamaica qualified for the World Cup, doing what Morocco did and went to the semifinals, people would not complain about the style because the achievement would be great. So is it the case where it is a success that determines how people quantify the play of the team?
So somebody just post that Duclan here just post something really great. I'm
Duckland post something great.
yeah, man.
Duckland,
Yeah.
miracles happen, boy.
I don't know. He said the philosophy at the top until recently was ugly loss is better than a pretty win.
Oh, jeez and peace. Don't tell us
Ugly
Duckland.
loss, Duclan. You mean an ugly win is better than
No,
a pretty loss?
he's trying. You don't know what you know what Declan trying to say, no.
No, I'm correcting his statement. I know that
No,
more.
he's. Yeah, go ahead, Mr.
Yeah.
Smith. Declan, go ahead.
So,
Yeah.
so, 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 if it's a typo and is what he need to say, it is true. Everybody prefer to take an ugly win than a pretty loss. I mean, Brazil in '82, people commit suicide. That was the prettiest, slickest moving team you could ever think back in recent memory. But what happened? They were so sure of themselves, they wouldn't defend. They were prolific, they wouldn't defend. And what happened was that Italy was just hitting them on the counter, hitting them on the counter, hitting them on the counter. So the world is has changed. The world is not going to pat you on the back anymore and say you play good. The world not into that with you. The world is asking you, did you win? What did you accomplish? The world don't care about your prettiness anymore. So you have to take those into consideration. So the world changed. So if we like when we went to Catalonia, to use an example, and decided that we're going to high-press Catalonia, we got 6 pieces. And then the second 4 in the first half, second half we were more circumspect. They only scored 2 more. So the whole point is, yes, you might want to see a style, but there's a word called suicide. Suicide, and it happening in football too, and you can commit it there.
Yeah. I see a question here. People, and remember now the lines are open so you can call in. We're at the hour mark. So question, are we the fans judging JA football as a club model?
Yes, because we just used to club model. Remember, we say club play like week in, week out. We know all the players. We know what they're going to do. We know their style. We know the coach style. We know those teams as a fan. We know everything. We know the change that the coach guy make even before the coach make it. Jamaica is not the same. It is not the same.
Okay. All right. Because I have a next very important question that he asked, as I said that, but we have a caller calling in. He had called in earlier. Caller, welcome to the show.
Yeah, blessing again, Dr.
Yeah, man.
Manning and Mr. Speed. Sir Speed. Me agree with Mr. Speed from before, because
You want to agree with you from you don't say that later. You want to agree with you before you answer the question. Go ahead, boss.
before, man, but the win is important, because there's a particular team in the World Cup that I hate, but then results have to make it us come around. Germany. Germany is a side that is mechanical, Them not play pretty football, But at the end of the day, them have a lot of trophies to show for it, And them embarrass Mr. Pretty himself, Brazil, in them backyard by an embarrass in an amount of goals. So that alone show you that the prettiness not really work. And we're going at back of the net. Goals win matches. Even Japan shows that since I late, by having 18% possession and putting out that same mechanical team out of the tournament that has won the trophies on so many occasions. So at the end of the day, goals win matches. And people are going to beat me for this in the Mannings, but Tapa is a coach that I don't really rate, but Tapa is also a perfect example, of getting results without playing pretty football, because Tapa brought us from way down a 60 to the 40s with team kick and whoop football, where they can get the ball out, grab a 1 goal or a 2 goal and nothing but to score against him, and he got us there. Demo J was a person who defended Tapa. And he used to discuss me, say the man have a style of play, When I said Demo J gone out of mind, but so when you look on it and really assess the thing, you have to come around that it's not pretty football that wins matches, is what goes in the back of the net. If you can squeeze out a draw in a competition and nick a 1 goal, is what goes in the back of the net. It's not pretty football. And don't get me wrong, I'm still not a Tapa fan, and I'm not advocating for Tapa. But I just use the example
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, good point, Carla. I appreciate it. Because somebody else, Data Boss, is agreeing with. He says Germany plays direct football. Now them start hold the ball, them can't leave group stage.
That's interesting.
Because when Germany are like Muller and them Luther Matthias, and even closer, and those guys, it's a lot of long ball them used to play and kick aerial, make a lot of aerial passes. You understand me? So that's a point to look into as well, Carla. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Blessing. That's a my 2 cents.
All right.
Come on, respect. And the team that passed the ball the most now is the king of passing, 1,000 cuts. Them can't pass the group stage either. That is Spain. So you see, people are nostalgic and trying to go back to the days where Spain was on top of them game in 2010, 2008, 2012. But the truth is, the world gone past that. So Jamaica can decide, so we are going to enter at the 2010 year in terms of football, or we're going to enter at 2022 years. So fans, you have to decide in your mind. So so that's how I see it.
Yeah, this person says, Duckland says, I am starting to wonder if we're on the same page as to what is pretty/beautiful football. Do we have a working definition? What is your definition, Duckland? Give us your definition. When you say beautiful football, is beautiful football effective football? What is it? Is it making short passes, long passes? Is it keeping the ball? It is what is it? You give me your definition, because probably that is the reason everybody have a different definition of what is beautiful, because beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, right? So give us your definition. Jason Guna, give me your definition. But Anthony Mack, Anthony Mack can be general, we can't tell the people that, but Anthony Mack, big up yourself, We know, we keep it right there, so up and running. You understand me? Yeah, man. But we have Tennessee online. Tennessee,
What go on, man?
we there here, talk to me. What say you?
Big up yourself and big up Mr. Speed.
Big up things.
Sometimes we really wonder like what people really want, because from experience, everybody know say Jamaica wouldn't go to Mexico and try to play like a passing game of football, because that would make no sense. And if Jamaica they go to Mexico and try to play that kind of game and get 6-love, maybe the coach couldn't come back to Jamaica. See? I don't know if you watched the match yesterday between Scotland and Spain.
Yeah, we spoke
Scotland
about
had
it earlier.
25% ball.
Yeah.
And Scotland winning game 2-0. I sure you're not going to get Scottish people to come play. You understand?
No, it's a national holiday they might have today.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah?
No, Mr. Speed, he's saying that maybe they're going to have a national holiday.
Of course. You understand? So, man, what may I say? I understand some people. I don't know what they want to see. I don't want to see no pretty football. I want Jamaica with. You understand? And
so what is what in your eyes, Tennessee? What would you call pretty football? What is pretty?
Well,
what is pretty football?
Maybe West Spain play right now. You understand? Maybe that for them definition. But right now, pretty football, I with me want to see them with. You understand? Me love the way how France play. France play, all right. Me like the French team. But the French play a kind of counter-attacking kind of football. I love to that style of. You understand? Me not really like Spain a pass 500, 600 pass and then now.
Yeah.
But what me say, man, is the coach have to adapt. All right. Maybe the coach have every team different.
So Morocco, let me ask you, Morocco play pretty football, beautiful football?
No. But then wait.
Really? You don't think that Morocco defensively? You ever analyze defense and say, look how them move in sync. 1, 2, 3 up, 1, 2, 3 right. 1, 2, 3 left, 1, 2, 3 drop. 1, 2, 3 press, 1, 2, 3 left, 1, 2, 3 right. Step 2, step 1, step 3. Like watch them. It's like music. It's like they're going 1, 2, 3 right, 1, 2, 3 left. Step 1, 2, drop 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 right. That it's like
they play beautiful defense in football.
But
Yeah,
but
yeah,
but
yeah,
we
yeah,
know.
yeah.
but
Yeah,
and
man.
football is defense and attack. So you're
Of
correct.
course, of course. I took part that game. So when me I say, uh, a coach have to adapt differently to certain team. Maybe against a certain team, a coach will make more play a passing kind of game. But you know when you face a certain team, you have to go play a different style of football because every team different. And there's no way we will go to Mexico in the altitude and try to about where we am play in tiki taka football. Because me sure we don't get a lot in. So all me want money, me respect the coach. You understand? Because me have some Mexican here when me I work with fire and they say Jamaica can't play ball. So we can laugh to them. So every day manage to be manage. But when me I say me love the game to team a Sunday, even though it never perfect, but manage and asking we got Mexican score 2 goals. You understand? I don't Mexico score one for
Yeah.
themselves. But manage, me have to big up the coach. I mean love what team I play. I mean I support the coach 100%.
All
Big
right.
up for yourself.
Yeah, man. All right. Big up Tennessee.
Respect.
All right. We have our next
All
caller
right.
coming in. All right. But let me ask this: like, can all whatever we define? Because see, Rahman Osborne saying Spain and Brazil play pretty football. That's what Jamaica want to see.
And the truth is, they say what is really pretty football is not even the passing. The passing in was Spain play with 1,000 passing. What was pretty was the piles and the salad and the dribble pass a lot of people. That is what really was pretty football,
But
as I
Brazil didn't
know.
play foot. Hey, I don't think Brazil played beautiful football in the World Cup. I think Brazil were atrocious. So
No,
I
no,
don't.
no. I'm talking about the 82 teams, the 78 teams, like that Argentina one with Mario Kempes and those boys. You know, them take on players. That's what people was and but that don't happen anymore in football. Nobody take on 3, 4, 5 player again, go past them and score goals anymore. It hardly ever happen. So the
Yeah,
truth is, we're getting even mixed up with what we call pretty
yeah,
football.
yeah. We have a call online. Caller, welcome to the show.
Yeah, yeah, man. So, man.
Yeah, man, I'm here. Yeah. What say you?
Let's be big up yourself, man.
Yeah, man. Better.
First thing I have to say, I want to respond to the caller before who alluded that um, what's his name, Tapper got the result. He got the result with basic football, and he also confirmed that it brought them, which is the result, brought them from one level to another. But yet he had to put out a disclaimer that he's not a fan of Tapper. It makes me wonder if Tapper's unpopularity is more of a trend than based on his result. Because if he has the result, why wouldn't you be a fan? Secondly, in terms of the possession, um, versus uh, um result. I don't really cool. I love pool. Pool is my game, right? So let me use pool as for example. I may be able to play the cue ball and control the cue ball, put it where I want, make bank shots and stuff, that stuff. And yet, if I'm playing somebody who is not as good of a full player as I am, they may just hit the ball, and when you look, it's a 2, 3 ball sink, and bam, them get a leave on the 8 ball, and they win me. Does that make them, at the end of the day, they win the game? But at the same time, as it relates to football, you cannot score if you don't have the ball. So therefore, the more you have the ball, is the higher the probability of you winning the game, right? So is it more of luck for those persons who have less possession, as it relates to the pool example that I gave just now, than skill?
All right, so let me answer you.
Okay.
So just like somebody say here, the aim of football is to score a goal is always is penetration, right? So you must penetrate. So if you keep on making a lot of passes in the back, you're half of the field, and you're not penetrating any of the defensive lines, then those passes are basically useless. So what a lot of people why a lot of people call long ball. It's not necessarily long ball, you know. The coaches that know is trying to penetrate the different lines of resistance. So some teams set up with 3, some teams set up with 2, so some teams set up with even up to 4. So there's lines of resistance that you have to beat. So some coaches say, well, if I can use one pass and beat 2 lines, I am good. You see the point? It is no different from you a number 10, a all-time number 10, trying to lay down a true pass for a forward by beating one line and score. What coaches are saying now, and this is what I want everybody to understand, coaches are saying, but I can use one pass and beat 5 lines because I catch a team coming forward. So I'm going to play the same, but it's the same risk, but he might decide to do it more often. So people say it's a long ball. No, it's a ball. The coach is not kicking the ball down the field aimlessly. That's not his intention when he's trying to pass it. What the coach is trying to tell the players to do, if you can break the line, break it right away, as fast as you can, and get you in a position for score. That is what is happening, and people mistaking it for long ball. So back to your argument though, is how focused were you when you're playing the pool game and what you wanted to achieve as against someone with less talent and know exactly what he want to achieve as against you who want to fool around and big ball behind your back and all of those things. Next man interested in that thing, just try to sink the ball in the hole. And with a little luck. And most time you're going to win if you're better than him, you know. But with a little luck, he can beat you and in percentage will rise. If you come to say 40% of the time him win, by based on talent alone, him should 10% of the time. You get me?
Okay, yeah, because I'm glad you said that with that little luck because if you're gonna kick a longer ball versus short passes, of course it defeats the purpose of you having the ball and being aimless with it. Because if you're gonna have control of the ball, you must have a purpose. You understand me? Which is going towards the goal. That's the ultimate. So I'm glad that you said that. But then passing the ball, making short passes. Of course, it is the versus long pass. Of course, you require a lot more luck with the long passes. So therefore, and it is more risky. So it's a safer and sometimes more attractive game to play shorter. So I guess that is it.
So I'm going to give you an example where a lot of people should remember. I'm going to go to club football.
Hold on, that's it, caller.
Yeah, man, respect.
All right, blessings every time. Yeah, man.
So
Thanks for the call.
there was a lot of goals that Liverpool scored with my name, fast man.
Mane.
No.
Salah.
No, man.
Suarez.
Salah. A lot of the goals, if you go back and look, Liverpool defending, and then just find one over the top and Salah's run left everybody. You see, nobody say that's a long ball, right? Then don't call it a long ball, you know. But it is. It's not really a long ball. It's a pass, beating a lot of lines in one pass. That's what they're trying to do. So a lot of coach catching up on it now and saying, "What if I do that relentlessly? I'm going to get you some." It don't mean because you pass short, you'll score more. No, it all depends. And when you're playing transition, was the other team organized enough to stop the transition play? And that's what a lot of coaches are looking at.
All right, we have Dima online. Dima, welcome to the show. What say you on this, Mr. What him call himself? Sean Dyche.
Fully Sean Dyche. So first of all, big up Mr. Speed as well. And management, I hope you can show people that I'm never get no ribbon after the show. Alright? Good. So one of the things I want to put, well, for me, this whole
Oh, you sound like that. Dima.
Dull.
Oh,
Yeah, we're not here like you're under a bed or something.
Yeah, excellent.
you want to send me the link then and see that later?
Yeah. Let me send it. Let me send you the link because we want to make sure you're not under a bed, brother.
All right. So during the World Cup in the modern era, while sending the link, management, I just want to tell the listeners that this is what we found again. Previously, we would have wide players attacking closer to the throw line, right? That would often reduce the quality of passes into the box and also limit the opportunities to combine. So we used to have wingers stay near the throw line and not crosses the ball in. Now we realize that in occupying the half spaces between our wide players, increase the quality of passes into the box and create more opportunities to combine with central players. So they are telling you now that stop try cross the ball from near the corner flag. You're not going to score anybody because defenders are so good now. They come back and the goalkeepers are so good. They just come back and set. Goalkeeper come for it or defenders then edit out. So this again is another trend. So if a team tries to play like that, you're barking at the wrong tree basically.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to, until Demo come on, I'm calling Duckland who was calling in. I'm going to call back some of the persons who I missed. But let me say this, right? So in coaching, you pass, whatever the length is, the key thing is not the distance of the pass first. It is the accuracy and the effectiveness. Yes. So whether I am passing the ball short, medium range, or long,
no matter.
That is not the issue.
No, cannot be the issue.
Is it effective and accurate? And I think that is what will now constitute whether or not you are doing what we call pretty football. In other words, if your passes are effective and accurate, whether they are long or short, you have an opportunity in the game.
If the longer the pass is, it is more likely you're going to break the lines, which is the penetration you need to score. So it's not logical for you to make pass that not penetrating if you want to score, when goal scoring is the most important statistics in the game.
So here we go. Because at the end of the day, remember, I am an advocate not for short, medium range, or long pass. I don't teach kids to pass the ball short. I don't teach them like you're supposed to pass it long, you're supposed to pass it short. Pass it accurate and be effective. And effective is in the moment. In this moment, a short pass is effective. In the next moment, a long pass is effective.
Right. And I want to get more technical now. Right? So, good teams know that when they're attacking, it is best for them to set up their defense meanwhile they're attacking. Right? If you lose possession, so it depends on the quality of your players, you might decide for a game model. If you lose possession after regaining in your third, usually you concede. If you just go back and look at all the games, usually if you regain possession in your third and then lose it immediately, you're in trouble right away. Most of the time, you're in trouble. People get shut off your goal, you concede. Because remember, when you gain possession, your team start to move away to attack. And if you lose possession right away, it is possible that your team will be disorganized defensively and out of position. So the team that regain possession can always attack you, right? Because usually you're not in the right position. Yeah. So some coaches start to realize too that first pass, when you regain possession, they call it the crucial pass. It is better you go over a little longer distance than try to make it short. Because if you lose it, then your team have time to recover back to defend, and also your team have time to they have more people behind the ball. So you see, there's advantages of making that little longer pass forward than making it sideways or back.
And sometimes all right. So all right, Demo. Let me let Demo come in and then come on and speak. And then go ahead.
And then just come on. All right, cool. So again, big up to everybody. Big up, Mr. Speed. You hear me better now?
Yeah, much better.
You move, right?
All right, cool.
You move from where you were.
No, I'm still under the bed, sir. No, but real quickly, for me, this thing is so overrated. I think teams have to play to them strength. Yeah? And I'm telling you this right now, man. There has been no Jamaican team that has just only played solely long ball for a 90-minute game. None. Under Tapper, under nobody at all. Like, people are criticized Halgrimson for a long ball thing against Mexico, when there were phases of the game in Mexico where we were passing the ball on the ground and doing knocking it 1-2 and all of them stuff, then nobody now point out them phases of the game there. But sure, you're going to use most of the long ball if you see that it's being effective. No, I don't understand why people have a problem with it when it works for a lot of coaches throughout history, not just even recent times. I mean, Sean Dyche, who is probably one of the most talked about managers, team style of play, did long ball and finished seventh in the best Premier League in the best league in the world. Seventh. Yeah, and it was long ball over to the striker. The striker knock it down to other people who come into the game and then play the ball. It was their strength. Them beat top teams in the league, and it worked for him. But there are also games where the man try pass on the ball and it worked as well. See, Jose Mourinho, he made a whole career out of playing a more sit back kind of football and then hit on the break with a long ball. Yeah, he did that. Liverpool, for years we cuss Liverpool because we don't have no midfield till Thiago come. One whole heap of diagonal long balls to Salah over the side from Van Dijk, and everybody do long ball at some point in time. So I don't get why people make a whole big deal out of this long ball and long pass thing. Like say is a whole 90-minute game Jamaica do it for. He doesn't do it. Because like I said, there were periods in the game where we were passing the ball around. So people need to get over it. It's very overrated, and you just play to the strengths where you have and what work against. And I guess each opponent it varies. Because if we play against Antigua, I don't think we're gonna do all of that a lot of the times. On the top of me, remember we'd play upon one of them the AstroTurf thing. And we never do no walk a long ball, and I think we drop most of 5 or 6 or something like that. I guess it all depends on your opponent. So that is just my contribution. People need to get over it. It's a part of the game for every team in the world. Man City play a long ball too. So it is what it is.
All right, respect Demo. Thanks for
Now, Demo, before you go, Demo, is not long ball, it's a pass that
Yeah.
over distance. You're Demo, but that's why I remember it's not a long ball. The person who's going to make the pass realize that the chances of making that pass and hurting your position is great, and they make it. If you have a good number 9 who's a post up number 9 that can protect the ball or can edit on, it's also a good ploy if you can do it properly. So
Yeah.
So even if you play a short pass, you still take a risk of somebody intercept it. So every pass is a risk, you know.
Let me say this: where South Croy and some of the other people and I are in agreement is this: too many, I think, our passing accuracy was very, very poor under the last coach. I think when you check, so the passing accuracy for Jamaica in this game was higher than our passing accuracy in almost all the games in the World Cup campaign. So I think the issue we have had is, like I said, the passing accuracy, the accuracy of the pass, and the effectiveness.
So you have to talk about the quality of the players that we have, and
so that is what I want to
then they come
that is
here
what I'm
and
getting
get.
to know. So I think the quality of the player also helps to determine your most effective way of playing. The question I want to ask, like South Korea and some of the others, do we have the players with the skill level to play the kind of football that you want to see? And Keta has joined the show. Big up yourself, Keta. But Mr. Speed, what do you say about that? Isn't it
No,
true
well,
that the quality of player also determines the style of play?
yes. Well, let me just say the game model. Me like use modern term game model. The quality of the player is a big factor in determining what game model you use. So somebody mentioned something about Trinidad and Tobago. And let me tell you what happened in that game. Be very specific. Trinidad and Tobago, and Angus Eve said it. Him had some tall players, defenders, and they were marking 4 against 4. Our 2 wide players and our centre forwards, and they had 1 central midfield stay in the middle. Now football is also maths, you know. Football is also maths. That means that means that there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players marking our 4. It means that they had 5 players, and we had 6 players on the back who was handling the ball on the outfield. So there was a matchup of 5 versus 6. Now, anybody who ever go to one training session, the most frequent game played in training session is 5 versus 2. And sometimes the 2 get the ball over smaller distance, of course. 5 versus 6 is not a good ratio. if we were trying to 6 of us around the back was trying to keep the ball from 5 for a long extended period, I'm telling you, based on our qualities that we have, they would win the ball. And winning the ball and then probably scoring against us, because usually when you win the ball in an opponent half, is always problems because you're going to have the wing backs. It's easy for overload when you win the ball like that, and you could create problems and score goals. So after the players probably knock it 2 or 3 times, there's no other option except to go long because now you have to weigh the risk as against the reward. There's probably no reward trying to keep it on the back. Is all risk. So they probably just try to make a long pass. Let me not say long ball, make a long pass. A pass is a pass as far as I'm concerned to one of the 4 up front, hoping that they can, fight for it and hold it up. So a lot of times too, people have to understand that the tactics that the opposition employ determine what you have to do in your team. And don't commit suicide. Don't ever forget that word. You could be just committing suicide by saying that whatever tactics you have to use it and it must work.
Okay, all right, wonderful. Well said. All right. I love the education. Football is about being effective. Key passes that penetrates your opponents lead to goal scoring opportunities. They could be long, medium, or short passes. All right.
And just to add that top coaches set up them team to transition to defense while them attacking. It's a part of the game that nobody talks about a lot. But while them attacking, them have a plan just in case them lose the ball, what they do immediately. Right.
Well, and I've always heard that the first thing you do as a coach is to you start you start to coach defending first before you start because you can't defend by luck. But Cataract, what say you? I know you're more into players' business. Really, I don't know. Let's see what your football knowledge is like on this matter. What you want to see, Cataract? Beautiful football, or Jamaica be playing ugly football and qualifying for the World Cup and make what do you want?
All right. So let me say this. I don't speak on topics of which I don't know. I have absolutely no coaching qualification except the grassroots one that you get in England where you can take care of some youth, So
you get a coaching thing, you just get them to take care of the youth.
No man, they have no man, they have no man, no. They have at the grassroots level, in England, as part of youth development, right? At the certification, you can choose sport, and that give you the basic first aid, warm up, warm down, and some other little things, the rules of the game. You can choose a sport that will help in moving at-risk youngsters. So they give you just the basic that you can do, right?
Okay.
So I am not putting myself as any football aficionado. At the end of the day, we want to reach the promised land, which is the World Cup. I have said to you, based on the talent available to Jamaica on the 4 corners of the globe, right? And Jamaica is on the globe. And maybe in Mars, because the way our man they move, they probably have some Martians able to represent Jamaica. But we should be reaching the quarterfinals or the quarterfinals of every World Cup and competing in a knockout phase over the next decade. That's what I would like to see. So anything that will get us there, it gets us there. You employ a coach, you have to believe in the coaching tactic. Now, what I was at your manage when I first went to England in 1988.
Well, on the Cataract, Jason Guna say he wants to see a coaching matchup between you and Seed. But go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry to put that in, but go ahead.
In Parliament, they're trying to push a bill where you can recall an MP, I think, Mr. Speed, you have to be able to recall a coach from the D-line level. But seriously speaking, though, the 1988, I migrated to England, right? I went to stay with my aunt in Tooting, Southwest London. Wimbledon FC was the club nearest to us, where my 2 cousins were at. And I went to an FA Cup final between Wimbledon and Liverpool, where Wimbledon won 1-0. No, you can't tell my cousin them nothing about long ball football because that team included John Fashanu, Efano Koku. As a matter of fact, he was called Fash the Bash. He was really a black belt karate player, karate fighter, John Fashanu, who just part-time did football. But they had nothing. Dennis Wise, um, oh God, what the other brother they didn't name? But they had nothing pretty. But you can't take away that trophy from Wimbledon FC. You can't remove it. You can say what you want. The president was Sam the Man Haman, right? The president of the owner of the club used to come down the pub and drink with the players them and drink with the what you call it, the hooligan them as they would call them, the crazy gang. Vinnie Jones. Vinnie Jones was the other man, the crazy gang. But they had a spirit where the players would come and drink in the pub with their dieharded fans. The owner would be in there, but they weren't playing any in those days. They had center half and those kind of positions, flying wingers and them. They weren't into that. They scored one goal, and if they put 11 men inside of the goal, they would have put 11 men inside the goal. And John Barnes was on that Liverpool side, and he could have played nice till he more play nice. So at the end of the day, it is a results business, and there are ways to get to that result. Stoke City stayed in the Premiership for years, based on the long ball game,
And the
because
long throw.
and the long throw and Peter Crouch and Ricardo Gardner went to that squad. Ricardo Fuller, and so there are different ways to get to Mobile. That might be driving, go through and drive through the hills of St. Elizabeth and Cambridge and thing. Or you can take the nice, pretty highway. So I don't really have nothing about that. I think it's much ado about nothing. If the results are not coming, then we have to question the tactics. But
Yes.
in so long as the results are coming, you have to. And a coach might be pragmatic, knowing that that's not what he wants to do for the rest of his duration here. However, until he can get the pieces that he wants to be able to implement the game strategy that he wants, he has to take his hand and make fashion. And I don't believe that the coach is telling the players to kick the ball up the field. I really do not believe that.
It's a pass them trying to make.
All right, we have Norton. We have Norton online. Norton.
Yes, greetings,
Yeah, man.
Mannings man, greetings, Mr. Speed.
Yes, sir.
Everything, a pure goal I drop out of your mouth today.
Goal.
Yes, man, everything you said me agree with. You're spot on. But you know what? It is very hard. After you explain and you explain, not a lot of people are gonna grasp what you're saying, or you're not gonna sway a lot of people's mind, because one person who I hold in high esteem is still depressed about the long balls that Jamaica played on Sunday. And every time I go back and say, out of all the games that I've ever watched for Jamaica, this game on Sunday, although we didn't progress, is one of the few games that I keep watching over and over. And although they were playing long balls, when the ball hit the ground, they moved the ball around. It was I was glued to every time I watch it, although I know what's going to happen. I'm glued to it because I'm trying to see why so many people have so much despair about how Jamaica played on Sunday. And not too long ago, I told Mannings man that, you see, these long balls that they were playing against Trinidad, that is how we're going to play against Mexico. You didn't believe me. But I'm not deterred by it. I don't think it's... when I look at it, we won a lot. We won a lot of those balls. We progressed it. We put pressure on them because of the long balls. It's not like every time we kick it up, it was flying back at nuts, coming back to us. The game wasn't unattractive. So
Right. But so
I remember,
listen up now. So
yeah.
what are the money? So the one of the thing is that people don't realize that Mexico game model, because they're a possession based team, they're also a very good high pressing team. So but that ball, when they know that you're going to play that ball that could break their lines, that's what it's all about, breaking um lines, where banks, where in England they call it banks, right? Banks. In other more developed countries or other, they call it lines of resistance. So when you play the ball behind the lines of resistance, then the team, instead of try to press high, then back off a couple yards and then give you more time for knock. So when you mix up how you play, you have to know your opposition who you play against, and know what you can do. And so that could have been a part of the strategy too, to say, listen, they more press high now, make them back up early by going behind that line. So instead of 5, 6 of them rush come forward, they might decide to say, look here, only 4 going now because they more break the line if a rush come forward like that. So yeah, people are not understanding what modern football is. Them just thinking of what they want to see and not worrying about
Exactly. And again, Mr. Speed, me have to tell you, say, see the goal that drop out of your mouth there? So one last thing is that people now listen, didn't the coach say he doesn't have a defined strategy and he will conform based on what is happening during the game?
Well, that is called keeping the game in perspective, which is what we train the new coaches them to keep the game in perspective. You
Yeah,
play different based on what the score is.
yeah, exactly, Mr. Speed. So why people are hemorrhage?
They don't
Why
understand.
hemorrhage?
They
All
don't
right,
understand.
let me say that. Hey, the truth is, let me tell you what is happening in Northern, all right? And then we're going to take a couple more calls. The issue
All
is,
right.
and I think a lot of us would agree with this. All right, Northern, so thanks again for your call. Very good input.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
I keep listening.
Yeah, man.
All right,
Respect,
Mr.
man.
Speed. All
All
right,
right.
Captain Rock. Cool.
Yeah, man. So let me tell you what happened. The truth is, people, South Cry, and the rest of us, a lot of us, we have been emotionally damaged by how the team has played for probably the last 3 to 4 years. So here's the thing now. Hurt people, hurt people. And you see, because we hurt anything remotely close to what we used to see, we get crazy. It's just emotional damage. And so until the healing start to take place, this perspective is going to be held. Because in this particular game, what was done was effective. Going ahead, as more players come in, the coach spend more time, the team plays more game, you'll begin to see other things. So nobody's not saying that the team should not improve. There's a lot of room for improvement.
But what you call improve? Because you see,
No,
people are just looking at attacking. There's also defensive improvements where we can start shut out him. We haven't been able to shut out anybody for a long while, in no
true. No,
match.
man, when I say improve, I'm talking about so all right, let me give you a big thing. We were the team that conceded the most goals from balls coming in the box, like what
Cross.
you call cross. Right, Jamaica in the World Cup campaign, though we were not the team that conceded the most goals, but we had the most goals from balls coming into the box. In this game, Mexico scored a penalty, and unfortunately, the goal against the goal against USA in the national stadium was a ball that came from that same right side on the ground. Because when you go back, the first goal we concede is a typical goal that we concede, right? So at least we can say that was sorted out in the second half of the game, which means that there is improvement there, because one of the things we need to do is we conceded too many goals in the World Cup campaign from balls coming either underground or in the air in the box. If you even go back to the Gold Cup before that started. So I think over time, South Cry, over time you'll see different things, right? But I think it is things are very atrocious. And when you're coming from dirt, yeah, and you see soap, you still have a fear of bathing. You understand me? And I think that is
Man is mad. They are got too hard, man. not go so hard.
Wait, sir. But man, it's what I want to ask yourself and Mr. Speed. I help me because I'm sober now, right? Because it's 2 days past the match. What people are quarrel about? Are the same match being watched? What the problem?
I think they're
What
watching
the
it as a
problem?
fun. They're watching it as a fun and not. And they what I think, as I said before, we came on Cataract, probably never here. We are so engrossed with
watch the
those.
game on the
No, it's
transistor
not this
radio.
game I'm watching.
No,
They are
man,
so
over.
engrossed with the
I'm
club
saying.
football.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was saying they are so engrossed with the club football that they don't realize that club football and national football is two different football. Totally different. Pep can go and buy anybody that he wants for $90 million, even if it's somebody for sweep up the yard.
Mr. Speed, just hold that point because I have a caller for 3 minutes now. So let me just give him time and then I'll come back to you. Don't lose that point. Caller, welcome to the show. Good afternoon.
Yeah, management, but I have to call back.
Oh, G's and peace, caller. You really a call back. You have 1 minute because the amount of people are called. Go ahead.
Yeah, man, then call it the one. You hear me, sir? Two things. One, I don't know Jamaica play long passes, long ball, whatever. Me watching 98 World Cup, and as soon as whosoever get the ball, them send Paula chasing. And I would think, I'm not a coach, but I would think that based on Jamaica's natural ability, if you claim that Jamaicans are faster than the average football player out there, I would naturally send them chasing for the ball and make the faster man win it. I would just think so. But on the other hand, I want to ask Mr. Speed this question real quickly about the possession versus the result. Now, Mr. Speed, what if you had two teams from space, Mars FC and Jupiter FC? You don't know anything about them apparently. And when you're supposed to bet on one of them at halftime, right? You're supposed to make a bet at halftime. So during the first half, you see where one of them was playing long passes and of course directly to goal, right? And the other one was playing shorter passes, keeping the ball more with the same intensity towards goal. Who would you bet your money on, Mr. Steve?
I don't know the quality of both teams. The quality of players is always important.
Hang up and listen, caller.
Wait, hold on. Let me hear Mr. Speed.
Yeah, but no, man, just listen because me have a lot of person calling, and Mr. Speed was answering a cataract question before.
You have a popular show. You will always have a lot of person calling. But where no?
Yeah. All right, respect, appreciate that. Oh, jeez. Hey, what people not Carlton, you have to hold on, right? Because here's the thing, people, when they hear somebody on the phone, we can't cut them off. All right, so hold on, Carlton. Mr. Speed, answer the previous caller, and then Cataract ask you something that you're answering before. Deal with that, and then we go to the caller.
As I said before, the caller question kind of impossible to answer because there's a lot of factors that you have to take in play whenever you think you're going to decide who will win. Because guess what? You never know who will win anyway. Because football is really usually just one moment of magic could decide the game either way, or one mistake could decide the game either way. So it's difficult to answer that particular question. Both systems, if it's your game model, can produce the goods. But remember, Spain didn't get to where they were overnight. They were doing it in their grassroots programs coming up. All the players was trying to do the same thing over and over and over. So they realized that they were not physically strong. They were not exceptionally fast. So they use pass and movements. So some of the time it's because of who you are, kind of decide what type of game model you develop over the years. And that is what happened. Yeah. I remember I went to Sweden, just to use an example. And when I went there, all the teams was trying to play from the back because Sweden was never a country like that. Everybody was long and smash and grab. And when I went there, they were trying to use the long ball. But I had like Paris and those guys playing. And we just pressed them out the pitch and give them 6-love all the time. So that was suicide they were committing against us. It's not because my team was better than them. They just committed suicide. So some of these things we have to understand when we're trying to factor out what is going to happen in a game. Is the opponent, you're playing against an opponent that have certain characteristics, and you have to try to counter it as best as you can.
All right, you're responding to something earlier.
Just to answer the caller, go and call Gamblers Anonymous. because it must be a try make a bet because that's not a footballing question. So Gamblers Anonymous will help you with your space betting problem. Mr.
All right.
Speed.
You know the color will call back and take care of the cataract. But we have Solji, you online, Solji. What say you on the matter? We have Mr. Speed and Cataract in the building.
Yes, man is man. Yes, Mr. Speed, and yes, Cataract. What as we are talking about the long ball situation, you have to understand if people can talk about long ball, see PSG have the most the three best forward in the world and don't have no defense. That's why they can't win. They will never win a Champion League until they set up them defense. Remember, I tell you that they will win the French league, but they will never win a Champion League. So it all depends. I'm a member of Manchester United fan base for the past 10 years. And as well, Sir Alex Ferguson said in that meeting, he said, depends on the team you're playing. You say long ball, we call it counter attack. Because why you're going to have some players can run. And you're going to play short.
I just want to correct you. Counter attack can be short and it can be long. It can be. The first pass can be short. You can short counter and then long counter. Right. Okay. Just one.
Right. Yeah. But Mr. Speed, when you say long ball and people looking for certain players, you have to look at the type of players where Jamaica, where we really have, and the type of players that we playing against.
Agree.
Because if you know,
Agree.
Yeah, because if you had a David, if you have a David Beckham on your team, right, and a Ruud van Nistelrooy,
and a Pirlo,
no, a David Beckham. No, let's use a David Beckham and say you have a Ruud van Nistelrooy, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna play a lot of long passes from David Beckham to Ruud van Nistelrooy,
which they have. Yeah. They used to.
Yeah, what them used to, but as you say, man, people have to we have to just get real and understand. It depends on the team because it's not everything you go out there. And all right, if you go out there and Arsenal is a team that play short ball and fast ball, you're gonna stand up with them and bounce ball with them where you can't manage.
Hey, listen, nobody can listen, nobody. Carlton, you know this. You know how many years me suffer under Arsene Wenger. Arsenal had some build-up goal with Mesut Ozil and Jack Wilshere and Aaron Ramsey and listen, and they never won anything. They would play against Burnley, and they would play against Stoke, and they would play against Bolton. They would play against some of those teams who would beat them.
Yeah.
But Arsenal was looking and playing very attractive. You'd love to watch them. So at the end of the day, all I am saying is that what makes a difference to me is the results. All the people who are complaining about the distance of the passes right now, if Jamaica won the Gold Cup doing this, they would be celebrating. And that is it. I think at the end of the day, it is the final outcome that determines how effective your approach is. And so what you're doing is not giving the results, people are going to criticize it. So if we play the kind of game we played against Mexico and we win the Gold Cup, qualify for the World Cup and come out of the zone using this tactics, then I think a lot of people would be satisfied. But when it don't work, it looks ugly because it means that the passes are inaccurate and they are not effective. Because at the end of the day, it is the result that determines, because Spain, the Spain coach probably going to lose his job. But they look pretty versus Scotland. But the result was not in his favor. Same thing in the World Cup. It is only praised when the result match the playing style.
Because playing style has evolved over the years. There's different playing styles, different game model that teams used to win. One of the reasons why Argentina won the World Cup, people don't even realize they used 5 different setup formation in this World Cup. They were flexible. they tailored their game to suit the opponents that they were going to play against because it gives them the best chance. It is what we in football now call the meta, the most effective tactic available based on what your position is. And you have to decide what is that tactic to play against them. That is why philosophy overrated. That is why you have to have a basic game model, but you have to tweak it like hell to get the results where you want.
Well, as you're right, because also man is man, Mr. Speed. I want final front and Kedera. Oh, ugly win and a pretty loss. Which one name you prefer?
Well, on the way, just say ugly win.
You get it right, man. You get it right. You get it right.
Which one name you prefer?
And they love the look ugly win, pretty last visit there, you see what? Ugly win.
Because no. Yeah, because reason why
no, you want the ugly win. You don't mind an ugly win.
Yeah, because but
truth
you have
is,
Jamaican, they will come.
Truth is, I want to win in style, but if we can get the ugly win, I'm okay. My preference is to win in style.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
right.
my preference is to after my win, me put on the style.
Yeah. I agree with that, Mr. Speed. I agree with that. What happened? 2001, I fly down to Jamaica, and when I looking at watching a schoolboy match, Ochirias against Yarcastle, and when I see that schoolboy match, and I see that a little boy named, it was about 14-year-old named Shavar Brown. He used to play for Jamaica and youth team. I say this team good, but then just organization. I fly down and go and talk to the principal. A lady name is McIntyre and say, you know what, you have some good player, I can come down and come help. And I take some time off and come down and call a guy named Terry in this boat belly and say, come, I want you to come up here with me because I know you can play ball. I know we used to play ball at Intil, so come. And we go watching now and we realize and take those same youth, I said to the principal, she said she's not repeating nobody. Some of the guy there was bright, and I said, all right. Dr. Marsh and Dr. Williams come and get them on board, and they would come and we say, all right, we farm the 6th farm and get the kids them, And the year, if me never feel left come back a foreign to me organize that team, There's no at all if me have to leave, Me can tell you this, What you do in the Casa Cup that year, when Butler and CJ and those boys come down there, But just show me that to leave, Because me unbeaten right through, and then I did have to come back up.
2001, Carla?
No, 2003.
Careful
2003.
Careful what you say about win the Costa Cup,
They couldn't lose. Me say, when all right,
Carla, careful.
Listen to this.
Hey, soldier, careful what you say about. Anyways, go ahead.
Me not take back the talk. Them youth there, them same set of youth, them me say, would win the Costa Cup if me never have to come back up, man.
Okay.
Man.
Yeah, forget the team resistance then from the other team. Remember, I said the other team, I say the same thing to you.
All right.
Yeah, the other team, I said, because when I did look at you, there's other look at you, I never know, say, what he used to go watch, the same guy, me talking, man, I look at guy was 12-year-old, near Latch Island. Don't really ask me what happened to that youth, I ask him, you know about him? He said, see me in center, and I'm going post him, And that youth was one of the most football talent, as a little kid at that age, with a football brain. With that kid has a football brain, because when you have the center team and we come up, Mr. Speed maybe was the president at them time there. When the guy from trade did that coaches this center team.
We understand because we don't really want to go down the road there, the schoolboy football. We want to kind of
but let me ask you with the national team, we want to talk about the national team now. You see the players, them all right. If you have an Antonio and those type of player where we have, and there's a guy we see a Cavalier. I don't see my team. I don't really know. I don't remember my name because I don't know the reason why I'm never in a squad. But anyway, when we look, if you have those type of player on the team and you have a good midfielder, you say if a defense line good and you have a good midfielder and you have good forward where we'll finish the ball, and because I don't hear no now say nothing about it, but me say Leon Bailey can play, but when if you talk when the man in that ball too, me no want to know. If you can find that next certain player throw a ball, everybody out down for the man in back, Because me say, you must call my name and not wait to call my name because me say, Leon Bailey, that's your two goal when he score.
Carla, your godpad. Hey, Soji, you're going down some road. We're not discussing up easy, no man. You're going down a Lillian Bailey road. We are talking about different things.
Yeah, but you can't blame me coach for everything
No, we're
because
not blame the coach. That's why I say you're going on a different road, Yeah, you're going
yeah,
on
but if we put the coach out there and the coach are doing job and the player they're not we can't blame a coach.
Okay. All right, but
I'm right, Mr. Speed.
Yeah, man. No, man, we're good,
man.
man. I mean,
I don't want to go down the road, but
yeah, but
listen,
I would think about like more on a
different thing,
policy,
man.
like a higher level still than the individuals. 'Cause,
Yeah, we are talking about
got
team,
good enough.
But big up yourself, Soldier. But 2003,
Yeah,
you couldn't win the Costa Cup still. Big up yourself. A Froome win it with
Okay, right.
Woodbine and Rankin and them, all of them, and Fabian Blake and all of them, man. They play for Jamaica. When you couldn't.
What management? Remember say me go down a Froome when you have one boy on the call Beckham. We go down there and a two with show pass. We will Froome the year,
You hear me
Remember
just
say
hey, all right, Soldier.
me you listen.
Hey, tomorrow we have a
All right.
conversation there upon the one. Big up yourself.
Tomorrow.
All
Yeah,
right,
man. Best of to everybody. Yeah, man. The panel.
All right then. Yeah. Jeez and peace. Call them a come in like, welcome to I Am Sure Sports.
Yeah, Mannings.
Caller, you again, caller. Me get your number so me can check your name. Me check your name, so me can see when I three times. Go ahead. What
Yeah,
else?
but I have to come to you.
Yeah.
Let me say something to you. My big man, right? And your show is one of the few programs that I listen to. I drive a lot of work on the road. You understand me? And when Cataract, you understand me, which is the right name for him, right?
Yeah.
Try to disrespect your subscribers. You're gonna have more unsubscribers. That's what he has done with the commentary thing, the Reggae Boys commentary. You understand me? You must show respect to people, brethren. Don't come with a little rumbar talk to people because just as though this is a rumbar, brethren, you have decent people calling. Don't come and try and disrespect people.
Me disrespect. How I disrespected you?
Not you, man. I'm talking about Cataract, brethren.
So what happened?
Not you, brethren.
All right,
You're
so
a decent person.
all right, so hold on. Go over what happened. Just remind me what happened. Cause
when I came and made the comment about the space, whatever, of course there are a lot of variables that if you're gonna make a bet, of course there are a lot of variables that you have to put in to make an informed decision. I was talking based on I'm just talking purely on the fact versus possession versus long balls. You understand me? I was asking the boy to make an informed decision to increase the probability of winning.
Yeah, but
you understand me?
sorry, Mr. Speed, but Mr. Speed answered you respectfully.
I'm not talking Mr. Speed. I'm talking the Cataract Rumbed brethren in the
all right,
program.
So you want all right, caller. You want me to work this Cataract? What did you say about the caller? So we can fix this. See caller gone now. Cataract.
Yes, madam.
Yeah. The caller felt like a disrespect. Yeah. The caller.
It's a man things can say go. I said that question sound like a question for Gamblers Anonymous because it talking about a bet of people from Martians and space. Okay.
All right, so Cataract, here's the thing I know. You see when they call.
Yes, boss.
We just got to say to you still. Like, unless you know the callers, because I don't know who you know. You say, unless you know the callers, if them not, because just for your own sake. You see, because not every caller understand that you probably banter a whole lot. So you have to just know the callers like that. Because we don't want nobody, we're not going to make nobody disrespect you, but we don't want anybody feel like you're being disrespectful. Because the truth is, I don't think you're being disrespectful, but if you don't know the callers, let us not. I say certain things about Unseen and Alex because I know them personally and Demo. So make we just keep it at that. All right. Caller, listen, on Cataract's behalf, apologies. You understand me? No hard feelings. All right. Moving.
So, Marines, I can feel disrespected when people have things to say in the comment section. It is, look here, a football we attack, big man we go a game, you go a game. You know the level of conversation that go on at a football match, whether JPL or otherwise. Mr. Speed, everybody. There's nobody that I'm more hard on or even bother, come on, disrespect, but even bother and brutal with than Mr. Speed. And we can sit down and have a conversation. So football is not a thin
But
skin thing.
everybody I miss a speed, you
Mm.
know. Yeah, and that's all I'm saying. So let me move on from
Yeah,
that.
man,
But
let's move
Claudia,
on. Yeah, man.
big up yourself. All
So
right.
I just wanted to say another world trend before you move on, because a lot of people just don't understand the modern game. Shot quality continues to improve as shot quantity continues to regress. So we found that our teams are less likely to attempt long distance shot than they used to, and being part of the possession heavy teams means more patience when it comes to waiting for quality shots to become available. Teams seems to be better defensively organized and more capable of preventing those shots from materializing. Teams like Morocco, Japan, and South Korea are using defense plus transition combinations good enough to get the better of ball dominant teams in this World Cup 22. Teams like Morocco, Japan, and South Korea are using defense plus transition combinations and good enough to get the better of ball dominant teams in this World Cup 2022. That's a world trend, new trend.
But isn't that trend also to do with with a couple of things? One, the emergence of very quality CDMs who block down the that free space that players used to have around the 20 yards or so.
Yeah, yeah.
And you have a lot more mobile and aggressive CDMs, your Contes, your NDDs, your lots of other Declan Rice's, the players I watch, I'm telling you, that really closed down that area that people used to get a lot of production from the long passes. The other thing is that the goalkeeping has improved. You have the goalkeepers have become taller and taller. Oh God.
no, sorry, I should look like put up a question for you. Sorry.
That's your mind now. You better-
You see the cataract?
Huh?
You might ask
I'm
me.
asking a question, Cataract. That's a man for that. Somebody asked that.
We're not gonna change. We're not gonna change them, but I respect man is
Jeez.
man, I think. You know the thing, but we're not gonna change them.
Yeah, well,
No,
continue.
but
Mr.
it's
Speed,
correct.
you have to go put back some cheers on the cycle track, you know. Cause when them the kind of fun they come up on the cycle track alone, they
Cataract,
can sit down, you know.
no, cataract. But
Cause
seriously though, you can't.
in
Not
that
everybody. No
bleachers,
cataract. No
in
cataract.
that
Seriously
bleachers, it
though,
rough, you know.
cataract. And a
All in
seriously.
the hold on. Let me say this, a big man thing. I have been
Yeah.
in the stadium in a grandstand when man harass Mr. Speed and him there with the wife and he take it. I it know it about him. But I just saw football go. At the end of the day, from the man that touch you, right? And if a man did move and touch you, me would have moved to the man that too. Because words are just how soft football go in our culture. We don't sing, we don't chant, we don't do them thing that we banter and we have a little thing
Yeah,
and
but
rear your
cataract.
tail.
You and
But
I know that you
mm,
cannot go to a game and do that to every fan. So let's just leave it alone. He never appreciated it. And I mean, understand. You understand me? Because, you know, all people are like, so what is joke to you is dead to an next man. So we don't want that still. So let's move on from that.
so I bet.
Gregory Simon says long passes are harder to connect. It is very high skilled. It's a
Yeah.
very high skilled technique.
But you were asking a question about it. I was asking Mr. Speed. He agreed about the improvements in CDM, and my second point was the inclusion of a double pivot in the central midfield rather than just having one central midfielder controlling the for Leeds when I supporting it was David Batty who was the central midfielder, the destroyer there. We didn't have two. Then third, the goalkeepers like Donnarumma and others are very tall. And so even by the law of averages with good technique, they are able not to be beaten by what's his name again? Shea Given and some of them shorter goalkeeper that used to wonderful shot stoppers used to get beaten by those long lobs or long swerving shots. So I put three things as to why the shot quantity has reduced, and persons looking for better quality, higher percentage shots. And I wondered what was Mr. Speed take on those three factors.
All right,
No,
let me just
I'm
let me
saying,
just say this before you get in there. A couple of things also have changed. The cleats or the shoes in football have changed, which also the footballs themselves have changed. They have a lot of swing variation in terms of the weight and how they are being made. So now you find a higher level of accuracy with the technique that is being used, the balls that they are using, and the soccer cleats that players are playing in right now. Those factors also contribute to the accuracy in terms of shooting in the modern day game football. But go ahead and answer from Ketara question, Mr.
no, I was
Speed.
going to just agree with Cataract. What I'm trying because a lot of teams now, you see, we are grown up, and most people grown up with the 1 to 11 numbering system of footballers. So you have a 6 and you have a 8 and you have a 10 in the middle of the park. Now people are just saying, no, I'm not using a 8, a 6, and a 10. I am using two number 6. So you see, they are able now to guard the back line much better because it's difficult for one person to guard that back line here. So people are taking shots from 25 yards, which they think they have a chance. From 25, 30 yards, they think they have a chance. That double pivot in two number 6. So people are wondering how you can play two number 6. Yes, it's a reality. The game is changing. People are saying is two players with number 6 qualities they want there. And you have to go take the shot from 40 yards because they're not allowing you to take it from 35, 30 yards. So that is one of the reasons that impacts the rate on it. But whatever the reason, it's just that people now should understand that the successful teams are not just shoot the ball for shoot the ball's sake. They are not shooting the ball unless they have a reasonable chance, they're comfortable, and they think that they can score it. They're not going to shoot the key possession. So that's what I wanted to say.
All right. All right. Mr. Speed, well, your hour has long passed. And
Yes.
yeah, so I'm going to release you and then I'm going to share some of the info that I'm very sure that you probably don't want to be on when this is being shared because it has to do with players. And so I don't want to implicate you in the matter.
Right. So I just wanted to say one more thing. I must big up for John Russell. It was really Devon Porter who recommended him to me. And it was such a relief that when I called him and I send him name to the coach, but when I call him first just to make sure that the coach can call him just say yes right away. No itch, no nothing. He was so eager to come. I'm just elated that him work out. I'm not trying to take any praise that, but I was just elated that, people tend to like him. Because you Jamaicans, him go play one bad game and nobody not like him and they say a speed can't come. I just wanted to recognize how glad he was to play the opportunity to play for the country at such a young age. And I think he was in the championship at that time when we actually called him, so he could be looking other way, but as good record.
Yeah.
Now, the only other thing I wanted to say
And
before
Ian
I
Campbell.
go,
Yeah, man.
I want to say this last before I go, man. Mexico, that is our kingpin in this region. We did study them too. And what we found was that Mexico was able to increase their possession rate by 9% over 2018. So people would say Mexico is supposed to be a better team, right? Well, 2018 they went to the second round. 2022 with more possession, they didn't go. They also took a lot of shots, more than all the rest of teams in their zone. Quantity. And they scored only 2 goals this time as against 3 goals last time. So all of these world trends, what I want people to understand is that Jamaica need to come to where the world is now and stop trying to go back to where people think Jamaica should be. If you don't come to where the world is now, we're not going to succeed right now, people. So forget everything we're going to learn from 20, 40 years ago. That don't obtain now. The trend is not that ball dominant team, not so dominant anymore in terms of scoring. A lot of things change, and that's where we have to come. And these coach, they know it, and that is why we're having this differences in opinion, because people are not up to speed with what happened right now as against what used to happen before. Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, man, you're welcome. And then tomorrow, I don't know when next, but there'll be
That's all
another
right. Easy. See you.
different question for Mr. Speed in the hour of power.
It was always going to go nice, you know, but that's why Calabar can't clash with Casey and it go well, you know. That's why Mr. Speed I can. So Mr. Speed, you big up everybody and you're not gonna say that in 2021, John Russell was on a list of CDMs highlighted by Cataract for the first time. And that's why everybody here, John
Sir, are
Russell.
you trying to get some credit?
No, I would just love to hear Mr. Speed.
Just before we go, South Cry, my idea of modern, what I've quoted here, South Cry, is not my idea of modern football. Is what the people who research it from the FIFA Technical Center. I'm just reading what they said. So don't believe it's my thing. And that's the problem we're having because you believe, say, you know more than the people who sit down and study every night and day and do it as their jobs. We have to trust the professionals. So I'm just reading the reports that they write, not my report. It's them write it, is not me. I just wanted to make that point. But Ketara, I never saw the name in the list of CDM. But if you did, I mean, I think you probably
It
have
was
He
a
doesn't want
it
any
was a young
credit, man.
player.
Big up Cataract, but he doesn't want
yeah,
any credit. But big up
yeah.
Cataract.
All right, cool. I just
All
watch
right.
management. No worry.
Yeah,
I'm not on, but I just watch. Later.
yeah, but all right. So I just got this. I got a couple of text messages, right? That they're coming from. These messages are coming from not text messages, WhatsApp messages from a sources in England. I got them this morning. I can't post them on the thing, but they have to do with two players, right? One of the player is a player who was at Manchester United, a right back who is a former England under 20 player that is in the championship at Queen's Park
Ethan
Rangers.
Laird.
So he is now ready. And if we have games, he has played 26, made 26 appearances this season, scored 1 goal, has 2 assists this season. Yeah. So he will be. He's coming. All right.
Him a forward to the bleachers.
Yeah.
You say he's can.
He's
But a
he's,
forward.
he's heading. He's heading to Jamrock.
But Marins, just to slow up a bit. And so congratulations to Mr. Laird for seeing the light. Although you were never
Yeah,
really one who was waiting
I
on the
never really call any names, but why Cataract?
name. They and all of this is in light of the 4 right backs that were selected. Coach Tapper Whitmore, I apologize to you because I mocked you when you picked 4 right backs for the Mexico game. But I saw England under 21 pick 4 right backs. Ben Johnson, Dead Spence, Rico Lewis, and Max Arons, right? All of whom are eligible to represent Jamaica. So, Manning's part of it maybe, although I've never known that this youngster was sitting on the fence. As you stuff your under 21 side with players, there are going to be other players who come out the other end of the balloon. They might not be as accomplished as those, but they're not far off. So it's a good look.
There is also a left winger who plays in the Premiership. 26 appearances this season, 4 goals and 1 assist. He has so far.
Real top man.
And so he will be here for the Gold Cup. So that is just
Real
messages
top.
that I received this morning from
Real
out of
top.
England. These
Top.
are not persons connected to the
I
football
mean,
here
we're
in
not
Jamaica.
call that name. We're not call that
They
name.
have he plays in the EPL. Yeah, like I said, he has 26 appearances, 4 goals, 1 assist this season.
And Maris, is that one confirmed? Because I know that there was a lot of dialogue with that young man. We're saying that he has submitted his documents. Is that the status?
He's going to be, everything is going to be, so the message is that everything will be in place so he here before the Gold Cup. Everything will be done before the Gold Cup.
Manners and respect.
So,
People are
of
gonna
course,
happy about that player then.
I'm not. If a name is called, it's not management. So you can deduce from that. I think it is very wise. Let me tell you this,
So
right?
that one no wise for call. That name no wise for call.
So people, let me say this, all right? We don't realize that the people in the FA, they don't watch the channel, but they hear the names and the potential names that we are after. Somehow they get a wind of that, and once the name starts popping up regularly, a lot of this is something that I'm learning. Again, I mean, I have friends in a lot of friends in England, basically, right? Um, yeah. So what happens is this: they they get the information that, especially the younger players, and they begin to talk to them. All right. So I think it is wise for us when we have this discussion, though everybody want to hear, call the name and tell me. It sometimes affects the very process that we are working on. So we have to be wiser and speak in this language. And even if you know, you don't have to say. All right?
I agree, Mannings, which is why I particularly that last player is a very sensitive, because I believe that he is capable of being a starting player in the England squad, right? So they're very sensitive, and it would be a very big coup for Jamaica. So congratulations to those who did find him, and for those who worked assiduously on bringing the process to this point. But it's gonna be a big coup. That player to which you refer.
Yeah. But I will say this, right? There was some discussion about one particular player over the Trinidad window and the Mexican window. And there was stories about wrong information. Subsequent to that, I have received credible information that the player was reached out to by the FA, though they were a part of the last U20 setup. And their heads may be slightly turned. So sometimes it goes like that as well. And my hope is that the JFF will try to find a way to get the coach into that space to really meet with some of these players,
Mannings,
along with some of the former players. The Dean Burton, the Paul Hall, the Fitzroy Simpson, and others, to kind of woo them into the Jamaican system.
so Mannings, and that's an interesting point, right? Because I've had my disagreements with Sir Devon Porter, that when YouTubers speak about players, when Simon does his what's the deals, or others continue to track on players who are potentially for Jamaica, that we are doing a disservice to Jamaica, and the FA call the players up. When the players come and play a friendly match for Jamaica, England can call them up the very next day. So I don't believe that you can hide our recruiting. I really don't believe you can hide it. I think it's the most foolhardy argument because we can't play these players behind closed doors, right? And when they're going to switch allegiance, you do have to inform the FA. You can't just go and take a player from a country. Am I correct?
Yeah. You have
Right.
to. No, that is the ones who have actually played youth football. If they have
No, but
not played youth football,
right, the ones that,
you don't need to.
and a lot of the players who we would be speaking about have represented England at youth football, right? And so once they have done that, they the cat is going to be out of the bag. So
Yeah,
what
but
I believe,
I think though cataract. I
yeah,
think here's what my concern is. It like I believe be like if you listen to the players out of this experience, let's talk about no. I think once because of how the coach planned this entire trip, I think no, a player comes and be a part of the team for any occasion. It's an experience that they are going to love so much, like in 1998, that they are going to stick and stay. The issue is before they get to that place is when they are being contacted. So this player, like I said, I had some information prior about the Mexico game and the Trinidad friendlies. All right. But the player didn't turn up. And I was blaming the administration for that. So, but
I
when,
guess I
when my
must.
sources in England spoke to me yesterday, it is reported by them that he got a call as to being a prospect. And that and and that is part of the reason why he opted to kind of look and see what would happen.
So I can argue with your prospect with your sources, because they could be factual. I am making a suggestion, Mannings,
Yeah.
that we need to have some internal marketing strategies in a prospectus, um, e-videos, a 3D um, immersion, real cutting edge that those people who are reaching out to players can send them to the player so that it looks like when a college is trying a college NFL team in the college is trying to recruit a footballer from high school or a basketball player. They bombard you with literature and a lot of things about their program. We have to get to that cutting edge point, right? um so the marketing department,
Yeah,
for
but I
me,
thought, to be fair though, I thought the
no,
coach and his team did a very good job with the set of players who were here.
no man, I'm not talking about the players who are here in the Marines. I'm
No man,
saying
no man. When I say players who are here, the ones who came,
who
like
came.
like even John Russell was his first experience because he could have come and even Dexter could have come and then say, okay, I'm not but these guys, having had the experience that they had, I think they are so sold by the whole outlook of the football that nothing is going to sway them at this point. And I
I,
think, go ahead.
no, sorry, no. I think there's a delay, man. So let me mute until you stop, so I don't seem to be cutting you. Go ahead.
Oh, right. So my thing is the hardest ones we have is the one who have not yet committed and they are 23 and under. Let's say 24. The ones who are 25 who have not played youth football or any of those things, either U17, U20 for England, I think they basically see themselves as not having an opportunity because they're 25 and under, especially if they're not in an EPL team. Right? But the ones who are, say, 24 and under, those players, especially if they are first team players in the championship or in the Premier League, they're going to be hard to convince unless I think, unless like some of our former players, the Ricardo Gardner, the Ricardo Fuller, the Robbie Earl, these guys, and the coach, like meet with them. I would even say I saw Usain Bolt in Manchester with Bonnie Shaw. I always say, imagine if Leon Bailey, Bonnie Shaw, Ricardo Gardner, Usain Bolt, the coach, and a couple of other players have a dinner and meet with some of these players. Like,
Body Shaw can't convince nobody come play for Reggae Boys. Leon Bailey can't convince nobody come play for Reggae Boys. I saw Usain Bolt, the youngster at Blackburn, Ashley Fisher, the 16-year-old, 6'4.5" tall central defender who is in the first team at Blackburn. Usain Bolt went to some off-brand under 15 match. I think it was between Burnley and Blackburn. And the youth was pushing a shirt for Usain Bolt to sign. And I was like, my God, what if Usain Bolt had said, Marla, you don't want to come get naturalized and get your Jamaican passport for my country? So I believe, Mannings, what you're suggesting is that we need to get effective brand ambassadors. And I think Usain Bolt is a huge name in terms of brand ambassador that would, convince a youngster about the merits of representing the black, green, and gold.
so are you telling me that Leon Bailey can convince a 17-year-old, 18-year-old
No.
to come and really and Buddy Shaw in a meeting with Ricardo Gardner and the coach and stuff? They can't. Whoa.
The youngsters at that age, they don't know who Ricardo Gardner is. They don't know who.
What?
Brother, me just tell you what point blank facts. Youngsters who are 15, when Ricardo Gardner was playing for Bolton is now at the bottom of League One or League Two.
So they don't know.
That was a lifetime ago.
So they don't. All right. So the 15-year-old, you notice cataract. You have just changed the age group.
All right,
because I wasn't talking about 15-year-olds, but you have changed it.
No. So I don't want to change the goalpost, man. About one reason, man. Because we have to get this thing right, man. Right?
Hold on a second. Hold on, Cataract. Carlton, because I want to give Cataract him time, so a Cataract time now. Yeah, but go ahead, man. We'll give you a couple.
You know, Cataract, I say Cataract right where am I saying? You know, wrong where am I saying?
So,
you have to get person. For some of them and the name where you call. Usain Bolt can convince any player. Usain Bolt can make compete for Jamaica. Anyone. It's much easier you think, all right, you say come and see the minutes of sport.
No. I want you to listen to me again. I did not say that Ricardo Gardner by himself goes up. I called a group of players and I said, the coach, Ricardo Gardner, Leon Bailey, Khadija Shaw, Bonnie Shaw, Khadija Shaw, and a couple of other past players, Usain Bolt, have a dinner with these players. I am convinced that they can convince people. Even Fuller, a couple of other past players, a Marcus Gale, a Robbie Earl. I believe that they can. I believe that Bonnie Shaw, with what she's doing in England, can convince people. You know what I mean?
Man is man. A lot of people know Bonnie Shaw because most man do not watch the woman league.
Don't get caught up in a
understand that. Who you should say? Who you should say now with Usain Bolt? You should say. What the guy we don't ask where from Marvel in name again?
Raheem Sterling.
You better you say Raheem Sterling, Usain Bolt.
Mikel Antonio.
Usain Bolt. Go.
Brethren.
Antonio.
Brethren, let me tell you this. When it come on to the people who have, because the parents who are connected to Jamaica, oh no, have to go find evidence to tell me, say, them the people there. No, because you talk about the players alone, you know. When you talk about 17 and stuff, you talk about them parents. Them no know Ricardo Gardner.
Mannings. I know you have an
Man,
idea,
All right.
but
Me go prove,
accept to us the same.
me go prove to no otherwise, you know. But
So,
me go make you no win, you know,
you must
because
you know,
go ahead.
you must you know. What Ketaraka say, you know, me not say play some people know man Ricardo Fuller, some unknow Bibi Gardner, because Bibi is a good youth and easy going so. And you have to wait for people don't know Marcus Gale. Who name knows Marcus Gale play for Jamaica. Remember me tell you that. A lot of person don't know. People, when you talk about who people then know where play for Jamaica more is Burton, Simpson, and all. And Robbie, them four will come first. Where people still don't know them. Don't know them. Because England is a different place now. You have to depend tap, you know, as a English people
But
really know
you just said that nobody knows Bonnie Shaw.
I am telling you, when I said nobody, Manis, I'm not literally meaning no one. I am saying Bunny Shaw's fair.
All right. Let me ask you a question. Remember, you know, Bonnie Shaw and those players. All right. All right, I'll give you a drama. If Bonnie Shaw go come on the street in England now, certain place, me not talk about in Manchester already. Come down in Oxford or in London and I walk around. Tell me who if people don't know, tell me who last time
Listen,
something
people.
me a
All
Bonnie
right,
Shaw.
so people, listen what me I say. Listen what me I say. Like, cause we're gone down. You see the problem you have here now. Me gonna make a talk and we're gonna leave the country. Cause you see what we're gone down to is that we're gone all over the place. What you guys are telling me is that because none of them know man and know the coach. So the coach can't talk to nobody because nobody know it.
Mannings, you are going from the sublime.
Shut
Mannings,
up.
the
But let me finish
coach.
because I gave a group of names because there are areas that baby goes. Me, I tell you that, and places that full of go.
Where?
Yeah, the man I tell me more. There are places that baby goes that are no anywhere walking at them
Make I tell
places.
you something right now. Rona Stoke.
Nobody know
Rona Bolton.
No, hold on. Nobody know full of Stoke.
Yes. But when they come, Ricardo Fuller can't come and talk to a player at Leeds. Nobody don't know him.
But Cataract at no point.
So please listen. No, just listen to us,
but
man.
you're not
Just
listening to me
listen
because
to what I'm saying.
you guys have changed everything that I've said. I put together a group of people. What you have done is taken them in isolation and said that Fuller can't do it, Gardner can't do it, Bonnie can't do it. When I put them together, because all of them have influence in areas.
And what we are suggesting to you, Sir Mannings, man, with due respect, is that allow me on the call to put together a team that can influence everybody. The coach, Usain Bolt, Lennox Lewis. Yeah, people have influence. Everybody from the top of England, from Northumbria down to Plymouth Point, know who Lennox Lewis is and know that he's Jamaican. Right? What the chef there, the Jamaican chef brother, my brother in England, we come on BBC. I don't know if you can remember him. You have a comedian named Lenny Henry. Those are people that dep on TV.
Cataract. So you
hold on. You have an artist. Hold on, brother.
Cataract.
All right, go through.
If I get players who Ricardo Gardner convinced to play for Jamaica, would it change it? If I hold on, more you listen to me. Because
nobody not talking, we are listening.
More you listen to me. So if I find present players who Ricardo Gardner and players that Ricardo Fuller had conversation with that convinced them to represent Jamaica, Would you change your position?
No, because the kind of players you are talking about, no. When you're talking about listen, no,
If I give you a Premier League,
you asked me to listen.
if I give you a Premier
No,
League player,
sir, you asked a
go ahead.
question. You asked me a question. You asked me to listen. Me and the caller will listen. So here, what my thing is about you, the caller. This is not about convincing players who would be easily convinced. The what I call the dream team is to convince those players that are hardest to convince because they are on the radar of England and England is in their ears. That is my understanding. And I'm suggesting to you that by looking only in football, you may not have been understanding the
Did
sphere
they
of.
call Usain Bolt?
Hold on, man. You may not only be.
Make one person talk now.
Marins, you fall in love? You are
To
playing both
Cataract,
swords?
finish the
Oh,
statement.
right. I'm saying that in the sphere of influence, you have persons like Kano, the youth were acting Top Boy, one of the most popular shows amongst young people in England, Top Boy. He's a popular grime artist and he's Jamaican. He's a part of the Adidas, was a model for Adidas. Those are men with huge influence. They have a next musical youth, Stylo G, because they party in the same place, you know. When they go to West End Club, you know, is the artists, the boxers, those players are all there talking to each other. So that is my humble suggestion, that the coach needs a dream team to assist, to convince. And I will be open to hearing to you, but I'm saying you're talking about the people that need the heavy hammer to
All
move
right.
the needle.
All
My
right.
pause.
Okay, me can get a say now. All right, Cataract, I hear you. I'm here, Manning's man. Manning's man, I understand Cataract. I say I understand what you say, what you are saying, Manning's man. And you have a point, Cataract have a point. And your point now, Manning's man. Of course, Ricardo Gardner can convince people for Jamaica. Ricardo Fuller can do that. But what I'm saying is not everywhere in Jamaica. What Cataract says to you now, if Usain Bolt go anywhere at all in England, we go talk to up here, everybody will know who Usain Bolt is. That's what Cataract I show you. If
Yeah,
me
but
wrong,
I
Cataract
did
can
call.
correct
What
me.
I'm saying was, you know,
But
call.
what I'm saying to you, this is what I'm saying to you now. You see, if the government of Jamaica give Ryan Sterling ambassador to Jamaica, right? So if Ryan Sterling, they invite him to, although him playing for England, him can convince player to, you know. But you see, as we must say with entertainer, you see, if you have even Beaneman and Bounty Killer Company come and have dinner with those players, those men, a lot of young players run around those men too, you know, although they are not footballers. And those men can say something too, you know. It don't have to be a footballer to convince people, you know. Because you have certain places in England where you go, nobody don't know some of these players. But everywhere in England, everybody know Usain Bolt.
So I said to you guys, let me go over it again. I gave, and this is what I'm saying. I said, the coach, Bonnie Shaw, Leon Bailey, Ricardo Gardner, Usain Bolt, and other players based in England, it can include Wes Morgan, Rabiola, call those names, can all have a dinner with players to convince them. That's what I said, you know. So when somebody saying when somebody saying Usain Bolt can do it, I did include Usain Bolt.
Yeah, but what I'm saying to you,
So what you are
man
saying
is
to
man.
me, no, my understanding, maybe I'm wrong, is that listen, remove Ricardo Gardner, remove Ricardo Fuller,
Nobody
remove
don't say that. Well, no,
but what
no.
is the point?
No,
So why are we having
no.
the discussion?
No, I don't say.
So why are we having the
No, I
discussion?
don't say that.
Why are we having the discussion then?
No, but what I'm saying to you now, man, is man. What I'm saying to you, do you know that Did you know that you have some in certain eras, people who never play football and just move around football have so much influence on so many
But
Jamaican kids?
I'm not saying no. I'm not saying that.
Oh, okay.
I am not. I did not say at any point that there are other person. There are other persons outside of football who can convince people. Lennox Lewis, like Cataract said, may be able to do it. But that does not negate the fact that a group of persons, including some of the names that I make, can also do it. People say that like Robbie Lies, who always talk about Jamaican, would be a good person to go and do it. To convince people.
All right.
But what I know.
All right, Cataract. You know, you have a 13-year-old kid. We're at Chelsea right now. My father lives 2 hours away from me. And me I talk to him, me I make Mr. Speed to talk to him. Because me I try convince the parents to make the father. But that kid, you know, have a Jamaican passport, you know, because that father, because when the parents come from Jamaica, you know, because all of my kids are born in Jamaica, Cataract. They have a British passport, you know. Because if you have a British passport, all right, if Cataract was here from 88, if Cataract get in British book, say 90, and him have a kid in Jamaica, 94, that kid entitled to a British book, you know. Did you know that? So any parents, if a kid born here, and him come and him like him Jamaican, him can get a Jamaican book without him have to go through no farmer, this and that when me hear talk about on the TV a lot of time, you know. Did you know that?
I'm aware, Carla, I'm aware that is the most complicated process that we are going through. Yeah. And I've made a thing before to say that there are other ways in which a player, can obtain a Jamaican citizenship than the one.
Yes, Cataract, because I hear them say this thing and it puzzling me. It puzzling me when them say they bought this passport thing and whatsoever. So what may I say, there's different ways because man is man. If you live in this country and you get a British book, say 94, and you have a kid, say 2001, and that kid is Jamaica, you go get that. That kid entitled to a British passport immediately, you know. Did you know that man is man?
If your kid is born, go ahead, man. I wasn't listening to you clearly. Go ahead.
Oh, God.
Go ahead,
you know, make sense, me talk.
No, man. No, man. I'm trying to come on, man. Yeah, go ahead.
I said, if you, all right, Cataract come here, 1988, and Cataract go Jamaica, get in British book, 90, and Cataract go Jamaica and get a kid, 2000. That kid, as in born, that kid entitled to a British book.
Yeah, but because his father is a British citizen.
Yeah, all right, my friend.
The same thing happened with Jamaica. That's happening in Jamaica too.
Yeah, that is what the caller is saying. That some of the persons should not be going through this long process because the entitlement is the reverse. But I don't want to divert from this, caller, because we were on a very good point. And another time I'm going to raise that point again.
No, so hold on, do Cataract.
Yeah.
So hold on. So Cataract comes to Jamaica, gets somebody pregnant, and has a son.
Yeah.
Never applies for a passport for the son.
Yeah.
Though the son is Jamaican, he still needs to get a passport.
Yeah, no, you have listen. His son, listen, my man, if I get it wrong. His son have a Jamaican passport already. But management go now and want that son to come to England. Management go and just experience it. Tell them when him have him in British book from, and all they're gonna do, that kid must send him to the High Commissioner and entitled to a British book.
Yeah, but what I'm saying to you that a lot of the situations that we have are we don't want to go all over the place. So we don't have like first generation. Do we have first generation?
Yes, we do. We have first generation.
Yes.
No,
we have first generation here.
All right. So you're saying that there are players whose mother and fathers are Jamaican and have Jamaican passports. Watch this. Watch this. Because you said Ketara comes to Jamaica. Who came to Jamaica, have kids in Jamaica, get British books, but don't have Jamaican passport.
No, Ketara, I don't understand what you're saying.
That's what I'm trying to understand what you are saying.
No.
So let
I'm saying,
Ketara
okay, all right.
explain it to me.
All right, let me explain it to you in my situation, Ketara.
Yeah.
I was born in Jamaica, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I come here I come here in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
All right. I'm a British citizen from 1991, right?
Yeah.
I come Jamaica now and get three, four kids in Jamaica. We say 3 to 4 different women. I'll just explain something to you. So when I get those kids now and those kids have in Jamaican book, what me want to get them kids there to England now, all me have to do, call the British High Commission, tell them see from when me have my passport, me a British citizen. Then when they realize I get the kid after me a British citizen, those kids entitled to a British passport immediately.
But that's the same thing with Jamaica. You're entitled to a Jamaican passport. So you apply for it.
Understand. Yeah, but what I saying, what I'm saying to you, I understand what I'm saying to you, man. The people them who said when I go through this ring around with passport to get the man is complete for Jamaica.
The people who no, man. All right. The passport complication issue is not similar to the situation you just raised. It is not. So,
all right.
Let me explain.
Let me
explain to you the passport situation. There is a Jamaican grandparent who he went to England. He left Jamaica, he went to England. However, he had you in England, right? So you're an English citizen. You have never had any Jamaican documentation. Never, because you're born. You have a grandson, right, who is born in England. Your grandson know that his grandfather is Jamaican and he wants to play for Jamaica. You are saying that that child should immediately get a Jamaican passport.
All right. I'm going to say something to you now. No. Listen, I'm going to say something. Stop. I hear what you say. Listen what I'm saying now. Listen what I'm going to say. Listen what I'm going to say now. Listen what I'm going to say. I'm going to call his name and you can get him on the show and ask him. You may tell now. Windell Downswell. There's a kid here where used to play for England under 13. That kid his mom is born in England. His grandparents is Jamaican, but so listen this. When Downswell come here and he come, when Jamaica come to play against England and those teams, Downswell, that guy was in the team training with them at Old Trafford. Windell, me make sure I tell you so you can get Windell Downswell. That's why I'm calling him. That kid was training with the Jamaican team. Marlon King, all of them was there before them broke camp. And that kid come and decide he want to play to Jamaica. So don't and everything talk to him. You know, say his mom and his grandparents, they when they go and do everything, he get a Jamaican passport in 2 weeks. Tristan Lawrence in here, I'm calling him that you can know.
But all right, so let me give you an example.
England in born, you know. Your mother born in England, you know.
All right, so Carla. All right, so let me say this. The mother is born in England. All right?
Yeah. The father born in England.
The grandparents are Jamaican. They had all their Jamaican documentation. Yeah. They came and the process went through. Because all the documentation were accurate, they were submitted. It took 2 weeks, according to you. Nothing is wrong with that. I was in Florida. Let me finish. I was in Florida. There's a lady born in Jamaica. and she applied for the Jamaica. She got it in no time. She went there. She said she needed a letter, so the guy came to the trial because they had all the documentation and everything was accurate.
Okay.
Listen to this. They are persons who left Jamaica. When they left Jamaica years ago, their names was Susie Q or Susie P. When they went to England, the documentation that they presented to get into England said their name was Barbecue Susie. So, when they have a child in England, the birth certificate in Jamaica have them as Susie Q. The documents in England say they are barbecue. So when they have a daughter or a son in England, that son mother name barbecue, but in Jamaica the mother name Susie Q. So when they have a grandson who wants to play for Jamaica, and they go to granddad and say, grandma, and say, grandma, I want to play for Jamaica. Give me a birth certificate. Grandma present barbecue birth certificate. When they call the Jamaica RGD says, listen, yeah man, we have a person born that same day, in that same parish, with the same parents, but a Susie Q them name.
But different situation I talk now, you know.
But
A different thing I talk
the
about
point,
now, man. A different thing I talk about now, man.
Carla, just listen. If you just listen. So the point I'm making to you is that you cannot use one situation to broad brush all and think that all of them are the same. That's the only point I'm making.
Okay, Manins. So, and the caller. I understand what the caller is saying, and he's correct for particular players can go through a it's not one size fit all. And that's what I've been trying to say. I think that's what the caller has been saying to you. There are some that should be able to be done in a short time. But you are also correct, Marines, that there are some that are complicated. Right? So the caller, you're correct. But caller, the truth is that enough people go to England from Bandul passport, go up in a next man name. Right? That is the problem that we are facing now. Right? Enough man, let me say people, enough man go up on next man book. Then get deport and then get the next book and go up on next man book. And when they breed now, they can't use them original name. They have to use the name with the book where them go up on. So I just saw a badness come from. But I didn't even want to right? I didn't want to go as far as that point. I was stray from Mannings. We are not saying don't exclude. We are saying that they are the influence. You know that the person amongst young footballers, there is a youth. I follow him on YouTube named Tetes Baller. Carla would know it. He have over 2 million subscribers on his YouTube channel. And the whole of them are some little picnic we play ball. Because he has been tracking this thing from under 9 when him there at Birmingham City. Right? I think they're Wolverhampton now. Them youth there, who them can talk to them friend or you use their platform to influence. So sometimes it's not dinner. And we're talking different age group. Because Tetes Baller can go influence Mason Greenwood for come play for Jamaica. A different level of thing. Right?
Yeah.
But what I believe is that Mannings, when you're going at dinner and you have 20 people at dinner, it may not be as effective as if you have 3 and it's the right 3 to deal with this player. So if you have a player who is at Stoke City, a long time Stoke City player, right? I could just say even Lewis Baker is a long time Chelsea. I have a long time Chelsea youth like Lewis Baker. Maybe it's Frank Sinclair you need to bring in at that meeting. Because them man, they are Chelsea legend. And Ricardo Fuller can't go convince him. So for each player that we are targeting, we're really talking the targeted players, Mannings, and correct me if I'm not wrong, that the ones that can come in and make an impact right away, the ones that can come in and you know, not a part of the bigger pool.
Yes, correct you if you're not wrong.
Pardon me? No, I said
you
correct
correct
me.
you if you're not
me.
wrong.
In other words, not set up. No. So No, I slip on the board. Freudian slip. So I'm talking. You're really talking to really elite players. Who can convince Zach Lovelace? England has gotten into his head. Who can convince him? And that for me takes the marketing department, for example, need to look at, because they know, that's what marketing supposed to do, supposed to tell you. For this market segment, these are the person who, and this is the marketing that can convince this market segment. You see, that market segment, that's all, you need to use XYZ. So it has to be an integrated approach, man. That's all I say. It's not discounting. But we really were trying to say to you that players who might be legendary to us, and nobody in England, them can go in the Asda and Sainsbury's and do their shopping, and nobody now ask them for the autograph or say nothing to them, But Mason Green will try for going to Tesco in a Manchester United, as even have in a Manchester, as even have to lock it down.
Yeah.
Them have to lock it.
Mm-hmm.
Lennox Lewis can't walk anywhere
So,
about. The whole place locked down.
All right.
So I just my little thing. So my last thing on this two Mannings is that I am happy that I am happy to see the coach go to England. I believe it must be no less than 1 month, no less, because there is so much work to be done, and the same amount of time and effort that is spent looking at players up at UA from the JPL, it must be equal time and effort, or equivalent, or equitable, looking at those players who may represent us in England, so that we get the right players to forward, come represent Jamaica.
Man, you see, all right, you see the work when management are do towards the player them abroad. Management doing a great job, Great job in doing. And I appreciate what management really doing. And I said, management, and I say, and the all the other host them. And you see Ryan, I like him too. I like him, but management doing a great job looking out for the players and doing a good job, and keep it up, management. Management, I would say one more thing. When England was trying to host the Olympic, just as the Cataract said something, they could carry all the athletes, but what they do? They bring David Beckham. From you a woman say, and England in vote for, forget the Olympic, David Beckham should vote for. They bring David Beckham. David Beckham is a footballer, I'm not athletics. But then draft him because why? The influence we have. The influence we have, management. So what I'm saying to you now, as we Cataract just said, certain player can, if you want to get certain player from Chelsea, you see Frank Sinclair and those men, you carry them down there, so because them have influence down there, so because them are legend down there. So you see up north, Bolton and the era there, Ricardo, Bibi Gardner up north up there. So Stoke, same way up there them side there, up north. You have Fuller and them have influence up in those places. Fair play. Because you don't care Frank Sinclair go up there, so if you convince player or up in them side there. So that is all I think about, as when we said to you, say, as you say, Usain Bolt, they call him can sit down on the panel and talk up there and be glad to come because a Usain Bolt. So that's how it go. So certain player, you have to just look at it that way. So wrong way I say management and we get the rock, I say him right too. So him the wrong neither.
And there are some players, you see, Mannings.
Man, so correct him if he's not wrong. So
there are some players, you see, Mannings, that their life outside of football gives them some influence. You see, Fitzroy Simpson of the Jamaican cohort, Fitzroy Simpson is probably the most influential because of the persons who he has business associates and his dealing in terms of agency, right? In terms of being an agent. So they have a broader influence that they have gotten now because of the work that they have done after football, right?
Yeah, Cataract. You didn't know this footballer named Dexter Blackstock?
Yeah, Dexter Blackstock.
What, right. When me try convince him to play for Jamaica, and when me call captain and tell captain say come see him me go to him mother, me call captain go to him mother. And when him mother, but you are my father and grow with, and his father is Antigua. So England under 23 call him at the same time, and me I say to him, say, listen, I'll do England under 23 call you. Me I ask you to come play for Jamaica. Me I get the man to come to. When captain come up and check me, me carry him to him and he come and him say, all right. His father say, boy, if he not go play for England, he must go play for film country. So choose a father and grow with. He decide say, and he go play against Antigua, for Antigua. And remember him score against Jamaica in the Antigua match, So certain players you have to know when you come to convince certain player. And you see, when the parents, you have to find out. He said, look, you can tell about man, I don't want to call him name because I think I go on in England now, if we don't talk too much about the players, England, man, them, because start calling player them where they know they can compare for Jamaica and then they will dump them, So maybe if all this Ivan Tony thing name come up, you think Gary Southgate will then call him to come play for England now? No. So maybe he never get an next match because he got guilty and somebody charge him and he still call him. And the gambling charge maybe only he got guilty and somebody gambling charge him, Everybody saying they will play for England again, but Gary Southgate realized that this man can't come hurt with. So we could get rid. So somebody play them do better. You would do not call any name and talk about them too much. You understand?
Yep. Yeah.
Well,
all right.
and then Thursday now. Well, Sunday now. When we go Newcastle, because I go Newcastle Sunday, go watch Man U. More you call me Sunday if you have time, man, because more you talk to a parent Sunday. But then son.
All right, not
because
a problem.
Talk to him, but you're not at all. So call me Sunday, me make it talk to your
But I'll
father.
call you because we will be in England soon in April.
So when you go there, so brethren, may I give you one task for do. One, no more task for do. When the match done, find Dan Burn, you see, sir, and tell him say we know how he come to relate to Jamaica. Dan Burn, we want me.
Who?
Dan Burn, the tallest man on the field, 6'7". Yeah, man.
All right, Soji. So Soji, we talk.
Big up, Soji.
Yeah, man. All right, bless up. Cataract, say we pass the 3 hours, so you have your time. To do your final.
No. I again applaud, and we always have differences in opinion. Oh, I wanted to make a serious thing. Somebody, O'Neill Dawkins, about 40 minutes ago, you said that Omari Hutchinson is cap-tied for Jamaica. He's not cap-tied. And no player under the age of 21 is cap-tied until they have played 3 official games, meaning Nations League, World Cup qualifiers, or in our case, the Gold Cup. Right? Those friendly caps don't count for anything. Under 20 caps, under 70 caps don't count for anything. Right? So I just wanted to use that part of the time to clarify that. The other thing is that, man, is that as we go forward, I don't believe that every single player is going to want to come and play for Jamaica, but I believe that a percentage of players do, and of that percentage of players, there's still going to be stumbling blocks in their way. And if we have a cohesive and a clear recruitment policy and strategy, it might be more effective that we can get the percentage. So it now gone down to 29 because it was 30 that were playing in that were affiliated with Premier League clubs. Ivan Toney strike off of the list because he's not eligible anymore. If we get 3 or 5 or 10 or 29, We don't know. But every single one of them won't come to play for Jamaica, won't play for Jamaica at the same time. But there's injuries, there is important matches, and I support the coach going up there and eyeballing the player and speaking with them and laying out his vision and his plans, because he has to sell the program that he is embarking on. And I will support in any way possible, um, in terms of, but on a guided way in terms of what is really needed. Um, and you know what I mean? I wish him all the best, but I want to urge the Jamaican Football Federation to give him all the support that they can and have him there for as long as is possible so he can watch as many games as possible and he can interact with as many players as possible so he can find the best players, the right players with the right qualities that he is looking for to fit into the program that he is trying to build. Yeah, man.
All right then. All right, so there you go. That's Ketara for you. Listen, thanks to everyone who joined today. We had 3 hours of power. We had Michael Tuller. We had Mr. Rudolph Speed who did his hour. And then we spent the last hour talking about some stuff with Cataract Soldier and so many persons that called in. For anyone, again, if you felt like something was said that offended you, no apologies, no harm meant. You understand? It is just how sports discussion goes, right? But we all understand that persons are different and we view and take things differently. I know Cataract, you understand me? We have a few interactions, you understand me? And he means no harm. If you know selectors, son, this jockey, DJs, whatever you want to call them, they are like that. They say a lot of things in jest, so you shouldn't take it personal. But we do understand that some things may be offensive to some people. So big up yourselves all. But like the plan going forward, good to have heard from Mr. Rudolph Speed today as well, and the Speed Power Hour. You understand me? Thanks to everyone in the comment section. To all the persons who subscribed to the channel for the first time today, we want to thank you for your subscription, for all the likes. Big up yourself. For all the shares of the video, big up yourself. You understand me? We still continue to do a lot of work, right? So even in the comment section, um, be cool, be respectful. You understand me? I am Manningsman. This has been I am
Big up
sure.
Orlando Nicholson, the whole Studley Park massive.
Yeah, man, yeah, man. Big up Cataract. And listen, Cataract, big up yourself, Hey, Cataract, Cataract. You see, Cataract.
What
So
was sir?
which one of the role you play on the sound? Do you put on the play the CDs and or the records or the 45 or the LPs, or do you actually are the man who, or do you string up the sound, or do you put the plan like when you're going to play, or do you are you the man with like talk on the microphone? Which one of the roles you play? Are you do all of them?
I don't string up song. I speak on the microphone and kill people. Yeah. We select music. We use laptops nowadays, mate. It's no more CDs or cassettes or record.
All right, Vinsky.
Yeah, well, I buy Vice the girls they want here, man. Worth telling.
big up, big up Chris Simmons as well. RR, big deal Len. You understand me?
Yeah, man,
Vinsky,
big up,
bless up
big deal,
with the
man.
Spanish. El Grande Hero,
Chris
bless up
Smith,
with
big
the
up.
fresh God. Yeah, man. You don't know. Drilly, KY, South Cry, Peso, Demo, all of the man them, Soldier. You understand me? Miguel, Lika, up and running. God bless you. Up and running as well. You understand me? Means you out there at champs. Bless up yourself, Unseen. You understand me? Up and running. Formula. See you in the building. Bless up yourself. You understand me? Dre, any weather. Yo, you don't know. Inter Miami Dallas. You hear Dre? Make sure you get a ticket. You understand me? 8th of April. The 8th of April, yeah. Make sure you get a ticket, Dre. You understand me? If you get a ticket, you're good. We have a big plan for the day there, right in the venue there. Inter Miami versus Dallas, Dre. Get a ticket. You understand me? Yeah, man. Bless up. Sure improvement. the lady in the building. BB Cross was also here as well. Coach Kendall Mercury, big up yourself. You understand me? With Trinis, all the Trinis, up, all the Trinis in the place, all the people out of England who stayed up, bless up, bless up, bless up. You understand me? Yeah, we're again now. We need to go. Bam, Jason. Yeah, and then, so we have some people from out of Suriname, bless up on yourself, you understand me? The people over there, over Ghana, my virgin from Ghana, we say I make the whole of the people in Ghana deal with the thing, bless up on yourself, you understand me? So bless up, I am management, I am sure sports to say, we are over, and we are O-U-T out of here.
Boom, check it out, I don't know it's Jason. I'm a represent for I Am Sure Sports. For the latest news and updates, check out I Am Sure Sports. Make sure you go to the YouTube channel, subscribe and share. Jason representing I Am Sure. I Am Sure Sports.